back for more. Tracks are set, combos tight, Shaggy laid it down. It's a racer's delight. Buckle up teams, it's time to thrive. PHG World Series, we going live. We going live. Yeah. Rubber burns, curves kiss the breeze. GT7 streets where legends see. Shaggy cooked the recipe, fire in the stew. Cars and tracks match like a dance for the crew. From hairpin bends to straights that scream. Every line a story, every race a dream. Fuel in the veins, adrenaline spree. Welcome to the jungle, season 3.
Clock's ticking, engines kicking. Every second counts, feel the friction. New teams rolling, old champ flex. Rev it up, y'all. Who's next?
Season 3, let the tires sing. PHG,
Where the fast take wing.
welcome racers to the grand design.
Speed meets hard on every finish line.
Season 3, yeah, it's time to ignite. Strapped in tight,
It's a furious flight.
I see sparks fly, the tarmac glows. Races in sync like a symphony flows.
Strategy spin, minds on the wheel, every move.
Yo, lights out, engines roar. Season 3, PHG, we back for more. Tracks are set, combos tight, Shaggy laid it down. It's a racer's delight. Buckle up teams, it's time to thrive. PHG World Series, we going live. We going live. Rubber burns, curves kiss the breeze. GT7 streets where legends see. Shaggy cooked the recipe, fire in the stew. Cars and tracks match like a dance for the crew. From hairpin bends to straights that scream. Every line a story, every race a dream. Fuel in the veins, adrenaline spree. Welcome to the jungle, season 3.
Clock's ticking, engines kicking. Every second counts, feel the friction. New teams rolling, old champ flex. Rev it up, y'all. Who's next?
Season 3, let the tires sing. PHG,
Where the fast take wing.
welcome racers to the grand design.
Speed meets hard on every finish line.
Season 3, yeah, it's time to ignite. Strapped in tight,
It's a furious flight.
I see sparks fly, the tarmac glows. Races in sync like a symphony flows.
Strategy spin, minds on the wheel, every move calculated, every turn you feel. Teams collide, rivalries bloom under the floodlights, engines boom. Ladies and gents, take your stance. PHG's the stage, here's your chance.
Yeah.
Apex hunters chasing the crown. Draft through the pack, don't slow down.
Pit stop precision, seconds to spare.
Victory's a breath, snatch it from the air.
Season 3, let the tires sing. PHG, where the fast take wing. Welcome racers to the grand design.
Speed meets hard on every finish line.
Season 3, yeah, it's time to ignite. Strapped in tight,
It's a furious flight.
Yeah. Yo, PHG in the lobby. Yeah, lights flash, engines rise. Season 3 begins, and the world's watching with wide eyes. Yeah. Drivers from all nations, every flag in flight. The grid is stacked heavy, competition's tight, but PHG rolls deep, steady nerve, sharp aim. Every corner carved clean, every lap pure flame. Built a squad from grit, no shortcuts, no favors. Earned every ounce of respect from rivals and haters. But when the pressure peaks and the storm grows greater, there's one name whispered: Shaggy the Rainmaker. Dark clouds roll whenever he takes the track. Rivals feel the thunder rumbling right up their backs. When that visor drops, whole lobby starts to quake. Cause Shaggy makes the rain fall heavier than heartbreak. Cause Shaggy makes the rain fall heavier than heartbreak. Yeah, hey. Moves unified, every driver locked in. Strategy like clockwork. Patience wearing thin, slipstreams tighten. The tires start to scream. This ain't luck, this is craft, this is PHG. rainmaker. Bring the thunder, bring the spray, make the legends shake. Season 3 is ours, history's ours to make. Team PHG forever, destiny will take us. Every storm on track starts with Shaggy the Rain. The ring of rain, make a way away. Make a way away, make a way away. The ring of rain, make a way away. Make a way away, make a way away. Yeah. Season 3, engines loud. PHG, standing proud. And when the storm rolls in, you already know something that. You already know something that. You already know something that. Shaggy the Rainmaker, bring the thunder, bring the spray, make the legends shake. Season 3 is ours, history's ours to make. Team PHG forever, destiny will take us. Every storm on track starts with Shaggy the Rain. The way away, make a way away, make a way away, make a way away, the way away, make a way away, make a way away, make a way away, the day. I don't know why, but the skies always break every time Shaggy sets the stakes. He lines up the lobbies, the cars all shine, but here comes a storm.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Saturday splits of Season 3, Round 5 of the PHG World Series. I am T-Case. I am joined by Jersey and Papa over there. Jersey, how you doing today?
We're doing.
We're doing, he says. Good to hear, good to hear. Fun watching you race last night. Papa, Mr. Proprietor, how are you, sir?
I am doing okay. Happy Valentine's Day to everybody.
Happy Valentine's Day. I hope you guys will be mine. So here we are. We had two amazing races yesterday that were just phenomenal, and I expect two more amazing races today. Before we get into everything, I do want to say a big thanks to our sponsors. We got the Miss Chronicles by our very own Tussum Box. We have Lithograph Comics. If you are into comics or want to get into comics, check out Lithograph. He has a wealth of knowledge, many years, and a great collection there. You can find him on the Instagrams or scan that QR code. We also are sponsored by Vex Graphic Designs. A lot of our graphics that you'll see throughout the races, he took care of that for us, and he does an excellent job. VXD is the graphic designs there. And Papa, I'll let you talk about our last sponsor since you have a bit of an affiliation with them.
4D Racewear, gloves, shoes, jerseys, hats. They've got it all there for the sim racing, man. 4dracewear.com is the place to go. And for a discount on your order, type in Salamander 10X for a 10% discount.
Very
4D.
nice. Awesome stuff. Yeah, 4D Racewear, very awesome. Great to have them as a sponsor.
Absolutely.
Let's go ahead and take a look, though, at our top 10 drivers and points. This is as of the previous round. So after round 4, we have Rick Shear on top with 1,330 points. In second place, we have Mr. Josh Moment with 1,210 points. Then we have Jorge Sr. rounding out the podium, 1,205 points. Not far behind him, we have Talon with 1,200 points. Then we have Mr. KP Wilcox, who we saw do the last to first challenge yesterday with 1,170 points. S7R's WID with 1,160 points. Then we have McNaughty in P7 with 1,154 points. Our very own Mr. Casual, who was in the booth with us yesterday with 1,140 points. Then we have Papa Oso with 1,105 points. And then race winner yesterday, Bo Bagito, 980 points. So we should expect to see him move up the order quite a bit. But those are our top 10 drivers in points.
Very nice.
So here we are, Papa. Will you take us through what these drivers are going to be experiencing today?
Hell. It is hell. That's what they're experiencing today. We are at Red Bull Ring, 30-lap race. Tire wear is at 3 times with racing hard required during the race. You can use the mediums in qualifying or even in the race, but racing hards are the required one. Fuel consumption is at 3 time with the whopping 3 liter per second refuel rate. And the cars we're using today are the Group 3s, Lancers versus WRX. Newbies versus Evos.
And we saw quite the split yesterday between these drivers. Believe most drivers did opt to go with the WRX here. We can see here, just ignore that BRZ in the middle, 34.8% in the Lancer Evo, 65.2% in the WRX. But in my opinion, and what we saw yesterday, I mean, it looked pretty even out there. Jersey, remind us what car you chose.
I was in the WRX. I did try them both. The WRX felt a little more unforgiving on corner exits, just like it was on banana peels a lot of times. But if you could work the throttle right and had a good line through, get a little straighter on your exits, it just felt much faster and handled just a little bit better than the Evo did. But I feel like the Evo might have been better overall for the race as opposed to the WRX.
Interesting. Yeah. And Papa, what did you choose?
I was in the Lancer, the Evo. Basically for the exact same reasons Georgie just said. At WRX, at times it felt good, but it was really sketchy on acceleration. And everybody knows I am not good with throttle control, so I want something a little safer for my skill set.
Indeed. And I mean, we saw throttle control really be the key there. Most of the incidents yesterday were self-inflicted, especially there at turn 2. A lot of drivers just getting on it a bit too early and spinning out. So now that we know what cars these drivers are using, let's take a look at our split 2 driver lineup. And also, big thank you to Jason Dangit, who also had some good racing. Good luck, racers. We appreciate that, Jason. So here we have it, split 2. So these are the drivers who qualified during the week and based on their times, landed in split 2. We have our very own PHG Fast Cougar, who is in the Lancer. Then we have Q, who is in the WRX. We have PHG Sheldologist in the WRX. And then we have PHG Raider, also in the WRX. Then we have PHG Shaggy Doo in the Lancer. FAF Wade in the WRX. Mr. Casual in the Lancer. S7R's Mr. Racing, also in the Lancer. RTR Stamps in the WRX. PHG Veteran in the WRX. PHG Slick SHVR2, also in the WRX. Then we have PHG Amarillo Dash driving the WRX. FAF Slowpoke Rods in the WRX. And then VIP Cornbread in the Lancer. So good mix of cars here. Here for split 2. A lot of fast drivers. I expect this to be really, really tight. Papa, anything standing out to you here as we look at these drivers?
Well, there was a lot of movement after the split qualifying. So we got some faster drivers in here that had to step down from split 1 down into the split 2. Honestly, I just expect a really good race. I mean, all these guys in here are very skilled in driving, and none of them stick out as to being bad in the rain. So I expect to see a lot of jockeying for positions this race.
Yeah, I would not be the least bit surprised to see really, really tight qualifying. We saw that yesterday. Pretty much both splits were only separated by a second from first to last. That is very, very tight. That is just marginal errors. We saw penalties play a huge role. Jersey, did you fall victim to any penalties yesterday?
Just one half-second penalty, and then I fell victim to myself on the last lap.
Oh man. And, and Papa, I believe we saw, did you get a 3-second penalty yesterday?
I did. I was going into the pits right before the rain was coming, and I had to slow down a little bit extra to make that right-hander, and had somebody in front of me, and I got tapped from behind. So, and it set me just far enough for like the left side tires. I don't know, maybe the whole car. I crossed the freaking line going into the pit. So.
And we did see several drivers on pit exit once switching back to the slick tire. That pit exit is a doozy because it stays wet.
Yes,
I believe yesterday we saw Mr. Moment. He opted to pit a lap early. There was no rain out there. He pitted early, but it seemed to work just fine for him. It really just depends on the pace where you're at, because that rain's going to come, and it's so tempting to stay out and try to get one more lap on the slicks. But we saw it from Moose, who, he wasn't quite far enough ahead. He should have boxed a little bit early, got caught out in the rain. I believe we have qualifying about to get underway. Qualifying will be in the dry, and the medium tires are allowed. No soft tires, but the medium tires are allowed. So I'm sure we'll see most drivers out there on the mediums as we take a look at Shaggy in the Subaru Lancer.
Right?
Very nicely done. I was surprised to see him in the Lancer. He is a Subi man through and through.
Yeah.
But you know what? I don't know if that's legal. I'm pretty sure he's going to get a letter from both Mitsubishi and Subaru.
It's a Lanceroo.
A Lanceroo. It looks really good. I like that color combo. Here we have the Valentine's Day mobile of Sheldologist.
Nice shell.
Feeling festive. I need to make my screen bigger. PHG Raider. Do. Always Coca-Cola. I like that. And we have this green machine from Fast Cougar. That looks very nice. And we have the Planters Peanuts from FAF Way. No surprise there. Food related.
Right.
Q in the STI. I'm liking everybody's liveries. Everybody's doing a great job this season of really putting forth some effort. Slowpoke rods looking good. VIP Racing. They always have that clean red, black, and yellow.
Yeah.
And then, the Lay's potato chips from Better Dan. Scooby-Doo.
Scooby snacks.
Scooby Tuner. Like Scoob! Let's get out of here!
Nice.
Right, Shaggy.
One of my nieces was obsessed with Scooby-Doo, and so I would always be her Shaggy. Amarillo Dash. Then we have RTR Stamps. And finally, of course, Mr. Casual. No surprise there, rocking them Hot Wheels. He loves his Hot Wheels. It looks like Shaggy will be the first across the line here, coming into that doozy of a right-hander. Now, yesterday we noticed it was hard to overtake Jersey. Was there a spot where you felt like it was the best opportunity to overtake, or was it just kind of take it when you could?
Yeah, it was really more just like take a spot when anybody made a mistake, but definitely hard braking into turn 2 for the kink. And I would say turn 4, where they're kind of heading through here, turns 4 and 5. That's a real specific line in there, and you got to, if you can get up that inside, there's a lot of room there to spin.
Unfortunate for Shaggy picking up a half-second penalty. That's going to void that lap and the next one. A 131.043 from Raider. Fast Cougar now in P2. FAF Wade moving up to P2. Q up into first place with a 131.013. I imagine we're going to see these boys get into the 130s here, since that was just their first flying lap.
Oh, yeah. Easily. You can almost pick up a tenth a lap as it fuel burns off in those things, and those tires warm up a little.
We did see drivers go into the pits, but not everybody was. Did either of y'all pit during your qualifying?
I did on lap 3.
You did on lap 3, so here we are on lap 3. What about you, Papa?
My plan was to pit on lap 3, except I was up on my time. I didn't want to abandon that, so I ended up staying out the whole 7 lap, and then got a penalty for spun or something on my money lap. So
yeah, the tires here don't feel like they're really up to temp and really ripping as good as they could until your second lap by. And so I felt it best to just, get in there early and use the last 2 laps, to 2 or 3 laps to actually use the full grip of the tire, as opposed to staying out and having one at the end, because it's still kind of greasy.
Ooh, and Sheldo up to P1 with a 130.799. Considering Shaggy had a half-second penalty, that 131.9 he put in was not bad at all, but we know he has more in it as Q takes the top spot barely, exactly 3/100ths. And
Cougar.
Ooh, looks like Fast Cougar in P5 had a little bit of an issue now, trying to get out of everybody's way. Mr. Casual diving into the pits. Let's see what happened here. Going into T1, and you try to straddle that sausage. It looked like his right rear got onto the sausage, not as much grip there. And now it's just a matter of, getting out of everybody's way. Good job, Fast Cougar. Good awareness there.
Absolutely.
That is going to hurt him. We got about 4 minutes left here in the qualifying. Q just behind Wade. Wade currently in P2, Q in P1. And, we said it was close between Q and Wade, but Sheldo right there as well. Very tight times. 3 drivers in the 130.7s.
Shaggy was purple as he came through the second sector. See how he ends up here.
Shaggy currently in last place, but not for long.
Mr. Casual had gone in for tires, so looks like he might have had a problem where he actually says down there that he only just joined back in the room.
Oh no. Must have had some network connectivity issues. Unfortunate for Mr. Casual. But we did see that a little bit yesterday. That is the only, there are several downsides to lobbies, but that's really the biggest downside, is you do sometimes get those disconnects. Coming up here, Wade improving. Q really put in a time there, a 130.484. So Q is a man on a mission.
And unlike the split qualifying, slipstream is actually effective here. So you can get up behind somebody.
Yeah, especially on these long straights. But here through this middle sector, it does make it a bit challenging. These are really fast corners. You're trying to carry speed, and these cars do rely on downforce, so you can have a little bit of issues here in this middle sector as you see Q using all of the track back there. FAF Wade down on his best time, but you can make up so much time in these last 2 corners if you get them right.
Well, Wade did get a little squirrely coming out of turn 3, and I think that's the only spot that he's hurt, and I think he'll pick it up here at the end.
Let's see what happens here. Shaggy up to P2. Sheldo now P2. Raider P3. Wade across the line. He does improve up to P3. It is a tight battle here.
Right. Under 3 minutes from first to fifth.
2 minutes to go. We need some of these drivers there. I mean, Slick is only a 10th away from getting into the 130s. PHG Raider coming around. He will be nicely in the slip of Sheldo.
Shaggy picked up a half-second pin, I believe, on turn 1.
Oh, that's split time between just Wade, Raider, and Shaggy.
Right?
And
Crazy.
Sheldon. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Just
right
barely
there.
a 100th of a second.
I mean, Fast Cougar's not far off. Shaggy will serve this penalty. I will say this is one of the least penalizing penalty places as far as Gran Turismo penalties go, because it is right before one of the few heavy braking zones. It's not that long of a straight.
It really it makes it defensible too where it is, because you have if you move over to the right, can still kind of, if you can clog that line going into that right-hander, even if somebody's got, pulling on you hard penalty, you can still clog up that line. You don't pretty much unghost just in time to be able to be a rolling roadblock and try and hold your position.
Indeed, and as we were talking there, Sheldologist taking it to Q there, moving up to P1 with a 130.395. Very nicely done from Sheldo. Looks like this will be the final lap for most of the drivers, as Wade is up almost 2/10 on the fastest time. So Wade looking to challenge for pole position. And what we saw, track position is key with that rolling start. You can really pull away with some clean air. Better Dan up to P5, only 3/10 off of pole position. Shaggy Doo coming around. We see that it is now officially the final lap. Can anybody improve here? Looks like Slick is already in the pits. He's calling it.
Shaggy was purple again. 2.
And Stamps is done. VIP Cornbread is done. Looking up at our leader here. Shaggy Doo, currently P6, using all the track and then some. Comes across the line up to P3 with 2.5 improvement. FAF Wade now with Q just behind him. Q getting a nice toe down the straight, unable to improve. Across the line comes Slowpoke, currently P7. He does improve, but still stays in the same position. However, Fast Cougar up to P7 with 2.5 improvement. Well done from these drivers. Amarillo Dash coming across the line. No improvement there.
Better Dan will be our last one across. Go, Dan, go!
And he improves by 0.5.
Oh, fill him up to 6th place. Just squeezed in there between Wade and Cougar. And I mean squeezed in there.
Squeezed in there. This is the tightest qualifying we have seen yet.
Wow. This is going to be a good race.
Papa, will you take us through these qualifying positions?
Absolutely. So, first place and sitting on pole with the lap of 130.395, we have Mr. PHG Sheldologist. Right behind him, I mean, like 0.06 of a second is Q in his WRX. P3, we got Shaggy Doo, only a 10th behind our leader. In P3. In P4, we have PHG Raider. P5, we have FAF Wade. P6 is PHG Better Dan, followed by PHG Fast Cougar QC in P7. And then we have the top 8, FAF Slowpoke Rods, rounding that out. Over here in P9, we've got PHG Amarillo Dash. We have PHG Slick in P10. 11th, we have RTR Stamps. 12th is VIP Cornbread. And rounding out the field is Mr. Casual.
And it looks like, yeah, Mr. Casual will actually get P10 with that 131.103.
Gotcha.
He did have that disconnect, but
okay.
Thankfully we have the ability to readjust the order.
Absolutely. Shaggy's going to work then, is what you're saying.
Indeed. Anything stand out to you, Jersey? Were you surprised by that, or kind of what you expected?
I'm surprised that it's as tight as it is. I mean, what are we talking about? 7/10 a second for most of the
Something
field.
crazy tight. Yeah.
Um, and then what is also surprising is what I'm waiting for actually is because I know from lobbies, I know Mr. Casual is just as fast as all of them. And I want to see what kind of strategy he's going to choose to go with here on whether or not he can pull up to the front. I'd love to see him pull up all the way and take the win here today.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Papa,
Impressive. Yeah.
what stood out to you in that one?
I guess honestly, seeing VIP Cornbread back there in P12, um,
Yeah.
I guess what would be P13. I know as I was scrolling through the field, he did have a spin late in that session. I think right after the kink, that right hander right after the kink, got some front end damage. So I'm sure that had something to do with him being back where he's at. But I know Cornbread, he's a quick driver, and it'll be fun watching him come right up through the field, right with Mr. Casual, I'm sure. But again, the times are so tight, there may not be room to move up.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
I think a lot. I
Go
was
ahead,
just going to
Jersey.
say, I think a lot of, I was just going to say, I think a lot of it's going to depend on who chooses strategy off the start is really
Yeah.
the groups you're going to see. Great.
Indeed, yeah, it's gonna be very interesting. And hey, thank you, Arrow, for the $5. I'm picking Mr. C for top five. So you're not the only one thinking Mr. C has the ability to get up there. Uh,
They
I I
have.
I will agree with that as well. It will be interesting to see how this plays out. Did both of y'all start on the hards, or did either of you start on a medium tire?
I
I know
started
I
on
started
hards.
on hard.
You both
Yeah.
started on hards? Okay. Yeah, started on the hards. We saw what was it, Corridor pulling off the one stop. I mean, his tires were dead at the end, but he managed to hold on there. Very impressive. With these split two drivers, I think some of them do have the ability to pull that off. Jersey, did you ever attempt the one stop in
No,
practice?
I knew with the rain, there was no real point in, you know, trying to stretch it all the way out on the intermediates because I knew they'd be cooked by the end with how dry it got. Um, what I did
Right.
felt made in one of my practices that I did felt made a big difference was having the mediums on at the end stint for the dry line because the guys that had to slow down even more to stay out of the wet, I didn't have to slow down as much and I was gaining a lot of time. And but you really suffer for those first, 10, 11, 12 laps on the hards where you just watch the field pull away.
Right. And we saw that with Shred. He started P3 and he was the only front runner to start on the hards, and he just kept falling back, and it just seemed difficult for him to make up that ground. Um,
Yeah.
Now, Papa, when it started raining and you went in the pits, you came out on the full wets, correct?
I did.
You did. Did you ever try those inters?
I did not.
Okay. You knew what you needed to do there when it
Yep.
came to the wet.
Yep. For my skill level, I needed the wet tires.
How about yourself, Jersey?
Oh, I just went with the wet because I knew the moment the dry line showed up, I was getting on the mediums. Um, so I didn't want to even stretch it out any
Right.
longer than need be.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah. It just seems so challenging on this track because you do want to use so much of the curb. Uh, both at the apex and on entry and exit. When you were switched back to your medium tires there after the wet stint, did you find yourself struggling to maintain that dry line, or was it pretty easy for you, Jersey?
No, it made the mediums made it much easier to stay on that dry line because you just had so much more grip to be uh more forgiving and go into the corners more aggressively. And I just knew if I had to do that dry line with the hards on, you're already slowing down more. You're already piling up TC and to try and keep the car straight, and then you don't have any room for error. So, I knew a lot of guys were going to go with the mediums early on, and I just figured I I would probably have my best chance at getting back in the field if I took the mediums later.
Very smart. And I believe we did catch on camera you going into turn 3, you were able to get a really nice overtake on the inside. I forget who it was on, but essentially you just were able to break, a whole car length later than they were.
Yeah.
They were on the brakes and then you kind of just went past and then you hit the brakes and you made it look easy. So clearly that strategy playing out very well. It's going to be exciting to see because obviously split 2, these are some really top tier drivers. We know what
Yeah.
Shaggy can do. Sheldologist would have won NRL had he not gone on vacation. We know what he's capable of. Q being a newcomer, he's showing what he's capable of. So, those top 3 drivers looking very strong. And then, of course, it was half a second all the way down to P8, only half a second.
Crazy.
So, I mean, that's uh, yeah, that's nothing. That's absolutely nothing. So,
Yeah.
we do know though, rolling start shouldn't be too much chaos. Pretty much everybody kind of went single file. We saw a few drivers in the back maybe run a bit deep going into turn 1, not quite getting their braking zone, but I believe that just had to do with being on the hard tires compared to the medium and not quite knowing where your braking zone is. And Jersey, you did mention how difficult it is to get those tires warmed up on this track.
Mhm.
What do you think that's due to?
To be honest, I mean, it's really there's a lot of this track is slow way down, straight away, a lot of not a lot of turning, and I believe like there's really only one line through.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And it looks like the drivers are out on the track. We did see yesterday Josh Moment, I believe he started P2. He did a lot of weaving on the straights, trying to get a little more heat in his tires. But we see here Sheldologist on the mediums in his Valentine mobile. Happy Valentine's Day to all. Hope it is great. And here we go. Lights
Boogity.
out. And he is on the move, looking like a good gap between him and Q. Looks like Shaggy's got a little bit of pressure further back. And look at Q. Full send as
dive bomb.
Sheldologist just misses it there. And that was amazing. Q on the mediums. I mean, that was bold and brave. And he saw it and he took it.
Yeah, he did.
Shell on the hards.
No, Shell was on the mediums as well. Shaggy do now up into P2. Little bit of bumping back there, but it looks like everybody's getting through. And this is working out great for Q. Unbelievable. That was the boldest overtake. Let's look at this again. You can see, I mean, there's a gap. Shell runs wide, and he says, okay, if you're going to leave the door open, I'm going to walk on through. That was an amazing overtake there by Q. Well done. And it looks like we got a battle for P3 between Raider and Sheldologist as Raider's trying to work his way up, but Raider on the hards. Gonna make it difficult there for Sheldo, as he also has FAF Wade just behind him. Wade on the mediums. So Raider is the odd man out in this battle here.
Yep.
Going back through, we could see Slowpoke on the mediums. Looks like Fast Cougar on the mediums. Vetterdan on the hards. Mr. Casual on the hards. Amarillo Dash on the mediums. Stamps on the mediums as he goes up the inside of Slick. Slick runs a bit wide. Looks like that's P11 for Stamps. Slick Rick on the
A lot of
hards.
guys really packed together right here.
A lot of jockeying for position and a lot of drivers on various tires.
3 wide into turn 1.
Sheldologist picking up a 1-second penalty.
Actually, that's 2 half-second penalties.
2 half-second penalties, I see. As he tries to go around the outside, maybe performing a switcheroo. No, looks like Wade puts his car just to the right place on the apex. Nowhere for Sheldo to go. This is got to be very frustrating for Sheldologist. We go back to P12. VIP Cornbread and Slick battling it out, but Slick does have that half-second penalty. They come down the hill into this right-hander. VIP Cornbread gives it a little look, thinks better of it. He knows he can take that position once the penalty line comes up.
Yeah, at a time like that, I wouldn't want to be putting pressure on the guy who's going to be serving the penalty because I don't want him going defensive, slowing me down even more. I'd rather just let him think I don't want to get by, and when he slows down.
There we go. And ooh, that was very close to being a penalty for Mr. Casual. And sure enough, it was a penalty for Mr. Casual, getting all four wheels off of that curb. Penalties are showing up big. Q about to finish lap 2. Should be fastest lap as well. As he comes across the line of 131.0. That is great race pace. Raider with pressure from Wade. And this grid is tight all the way back to P11.
Sheldon just fell to P7 with serving his penalty.
Oh, that is unfortunate for Sheldo, just losing out position after position. Raider now.
We'll see.
What was that, Jersey?
I was just going to say we'll see. I was just going to say we'll see if Raider can push Wade up to get up into Shaggy and see if the three of them can stick together and try to chase down Q, close that delta down.
That would be very advantageous of them to do. Fast Cougar in P6 has Slowpoke Rods just ahead. And see as they both make this turn. Very nicely done. Looks like Fast Cougar running a bit wide, but keeping it together. And he is just glued to the back of Slowpoke's bumper. He's going to go for the move at the inside. Fast Slowpoke Rods. Yep. Oh my goodness. He can't quite do it. Good job holding on around the outside for Slowpoke Rods. That was not easy to do at all.
Good patience by Cougar, too. And not forcing that.
And I think that is a theme of this race is patience.
Yeah.
It is so difficult to overtake. There's lots of penalties to be had. And, of course, we know the rain is coming.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, I think here a lot of mind games go into play, especially when you're right up on somebody. If you just kind of peek that inside and make the guy in front think you're going to make the move, sometimes they make a mistake and you can capitalize on it without actually having dive bombs.
Wow. Amazing side-by-side action. Again, Slowpoke Rod's able to hold on around the outside. Fast Cougar just can't quite send it up the middle, but now he's got the toe. He's going to go on the inside again, and they got Sheldologist just behind. Now Fast Cougar on the inside, but again, just can't get on the throttle quick enough. This is going to play to Sheldo's advantage as, again, Slowpoke Rod's defensive player of the year right here.
Right.
Just able to hold on to it. Very nicely done. But Fast Cougar's not having any of it. Now he's got the run. He has got ahead of him. Can he get on the throttle quick enough? And into the wall he goes. Oh, no, he doesn't. He saves it. But now, 3 wide. Here we go. Sheldo going for a 2-for-1 special. Can't quite do it. Slowpoke Rod's still holding on. Fast Cougar. Slowpoke Rods loses it. Sheldo up ahead. And there we have it. The order has changed. Sheldologist up in 5.
How did Sheldon?
That was incredible, but still Fast Cougar cannot get ahead of Slowpoke Rod. I cannot believe it. I cannot believe it.
Yeah, there was definitely some definitely pucker up and hold on there one.
Right.
Seriously. And oh, it looks like Sheldo did get into the side of him just a little bit, but everybody was so close. There was nowhere for anybody to go except for continuing forward.
Definitely. I would not have been brave enough to try that.
No, and I think that shows just Sheldo's frustration of losing out so many positions at the end of the race. And it looks like what you were saying earlier has come true. Wade and Raider have now caught up to Shaggy, going bumper to bumper here. As we look backwards from Shaggy's Subaru Lancer, with Q with a almost 7-second lead now. So Q has checked out of this one. He's going to let everybody else squabble it out. As you see, Wade just really getting all over that apex.
Yeah, unless Wade thinks that he has way more pace than Shaggy, I think right now just giving him bumps on the straights and just trying to break that delta down would be the smart thing to do. Well, nope, Wade's going for it.
He goes for it, and Wade is on the medium. Shaggy was on the hards, but Shaggy's back on the inside. This is going to cause Wade to lose out a little bit. Nothing can be done. Shaggy is going to maintain that P2. As Wade goes up the inside again, but nowhere to go. And Raider's kind of hoping for a situation similar to Sheldo, where these two get in it so bad that maybe he can just sneak on by. And we see Sheldo in the background
Sheldo,
catching
yeah,
up.
creeping up. He's
And
coming.
here goes Wade up the inside on Shaggy. Shaggy does not fight it. Wade's able to get the position, but Shaggy seems to have gotten a little bit better exit, but still can't do anything for that. So we might see them up into T1, but you see here, nothing Shaggy could do. A little bit later on the brakes from Wade. And you can see, oh, Shaggy did have a little wiggle back there.
Really, that's just
All right, if he can keep pace with these guys and not fall back much,
yeah.
he's gonna have an advantage for the rain.
Indeed. And we did see fuel playing a huge role in this as well. How much fuel you take for your pit stop. We saw several people yesterday jump position in the pits.
Yeah, definitely. If you can conserve enough to not, have to take any on your second stop, that's primarily what you want, because it's just such a slow refuel rate.
Indeed. And Fast Cougars is out of patience. His patient meter is all the way to the bottom. He's on empty, and he wants to get by slowpoke rods.
Yeah, he's definitely going to start playing a lot more peekaboo in the mirrors and see if he can get slowpoke to maybe force a mistake into slowpoke that he can capitalize on.
We've seen a few overtakes here going into turn one. It doesn't look like Fast Cougar quite has the overspeed, so he's just going to stay behind. And I guess he refueled his patient meter just a little bit there. We're going to take this long run up the hill to turn two. And look, man, Q is already into sector 2 up there. Q way ahead of the rest of the field.
Yeah, these guys are just coming out of turn 2, and Q's already braking for turn 3.
VIP Cornbread bringing up the rear. 8.8 second lead for Q. We are on lap 7 of 30.
Yeah, and as long as Shaggy keeps clogging them up and holding back as many as he can, that delta is just going to grow.
It really is. And this, I mean, the battle for the podium is still pretty tight. I mean, Mr. Casual not too far off either. That middle cluster, very, very tight, close racing.
You know, and Casual, I think, didn't Casual start on the hards?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, so he's another one that's going to have, after the rain over and that dry line shows up, he's going to have a clear advantage over the other cars.
Indeed, and Fast Cougar still unable to get ahead of slowpoke rods here. But maybe this is
he's going to make a move. Here it comes.
He's failed on the inside so many times, but it looks like he's going to make it happen. But wow, look at Slowpoke. Slowpoke just keeps it. That is, Fast Cougar has to be so frustrated right now.
Right.
I mean, Slowpoke rods, incredible driving. He's just confident on the accelerator and is just able to get on the power quicker than Fast Cougar. As Sheldo gets a little squirrely there coming out of turn 2. Go down the hill. Is Fast Cougar going to take another peek?
Of course he is.
Of course he is. Sheldologist there. Okay, still behind Raider. Nope, Fast Cougar's waiting for it. And surprisingly, with
everything,
they haven't lost too much ground either. You would think they would have fallen back into Stamp's clutches there, but you know they've still managed to maintain a good pace. Remind me about when do we expect the rain to come?
I think it's around our lap 11, lap 12, somewhere around there.
Yeah, depending on where you're at. It's right around the 18-minute mark.
Okay, so we're...
Give or take about 15 seconds.
About 6 minutes away from some imminent rain. And here we go again. Raider taking a peek at Sheldo. Doesn't look like that's going to happen. Sheldo able to maintain that P4. Slowpoke rods and Fast Cougar stay line astern. And I mean, good consistent driving. We're seeing those lap times in the 131s. Pretty good considering all the battling they're doing. Raider lapping a little bit slower, but has picked up the pace now that he's got Sheldo in front of him.
Gotta tell you right now, if I was Wade, I mean, with how many times he has tried to get around Slowpoke, I would at this point, I would be fuming. I'd feel like a woman at Starbucks screaming for her latte and just not getting it in time.
And it looks like he's actually fallen off a little bit as Slowpoke has caught up to Raider now.
Yeah, Slowpoke's really, if you watch his lines, he's really consistent. So his exit points, his braking points, it's just lap after lap after lap of like just identical thing, and that's the trick here.
Yeah, consistency is key, and you know, this is a good track that you do get in a rhythm. It does allow you to get into a rhythm here, and we're seeing that from several of these drivers as Stamps has also started to catch there. Sheldologist now pulling away from Raider and has Shaggy do ahead. Remember, Shaggy is on the hard, so it should be a good opportunity this lap here for Sheldo to get back into the podium positions.
Yep, starting to get a little cloudy out there too.
Yep. The sun is not shining.
And here we go up the hill into turn 1. Or sorry, turn 2. And nothing for Sheldo to do there, just to be consistent, get on the power. As you see, looks like a little bit of a mistake from Slowpoke Rods, or perhaps Raider was in the way, and now Fast Cougar has finally done it. Fast Cougar
finally
ahead of Slowpoke Rods, and now he's going on Raider. Let's see here how he did it. It looks like, okay, Slowpoke going on the outside of Raider, and this allows, look at that. Gets pushed a little bit wide there from Raider, not enough space, and that allows Fast Cougar to get up ahead. And now Fast Cougar ahead of Raider, but Slowpoke Rods comes back 3 wide. And Fast Cougar gets pushed out, and that has allowed Slowpoke Rods back up to P5 now. Raider in P6, and Stamps right there trying to make a part of it as well. And there's Mr. Casual, P9. That was insane.
That's a little bit questionable defense by Raider there. You know, as they say, you've got to leave the space. The car's there. He just did not want to leave them any room.
Yeah, there was nowhere for them to go. Let's look at this again here. So you can see Fast Cougar on the outside, Slowpoke Rods, and there's Raider. Yep, he understeers a little bit. Raider doesn't really have anywhere to go either, though, because of Slowpoke Rods. They're not really leaving much space. So there's kind of nowhere for Raider to go. He was sandwiched in there, and unfortunately, Fast Cougar lost out on that one.
Yeah, I think Slowpoke there had a little bit of a vendetta after the exit out of turn 2 where Raider didn't leave him any space, so he just figured, you know what, I'm going to take this back right now.
We are seeing some... And Sheldo able to get ahead of Shaggy, Good eye, Papa. Take us through what happened here.
Just coming down the straight.
Yeah, got the medium versus hard tire.
Right. Yep, into the braking zone. How much Shaggy could do there. Kind of tuck in. He did try the crossover, but those mediums with the acceleration.
Yeah, you just can't get those hards to bite out of the corner, and that's the only drawback between the two. The handling feels pretty much the same. It's just that exit out of the corners, the hards just don't want to go.
I agree.
We're getting close to that 18-minute mark, 17 minutes in. About to be on lap 12 of 30. It's getting dark out there.
I think they're racing the rain back right now.
Yep, I agree. And I think these maybe from, let's say, Lick on back, P10 on back, might get caught out here.
I'm kind of interested to see what the first 5 cars here, especially Q, is like. I know they can see it on the radar, right? Want to go gutsy and try to score one more lap?
Right.
I mean, Q's got enough of a gap here to where he can comfortably just go in now and not have to worry about really losing too much.
Indeed,
you're
that's
gonna
what we
start-
saw Josh do yesterday. Still not quite any moisture on the track, but man, is this tight racing all the way through. These guys must be exhausted.
You
You see
stayed
Q
out.
coming
I'm
around.
exhausted
He
watching.
stays out. Q's going to give it another lap. We'll see what FAF Wade does here. Still no rain. And Wade is going in the pits.
Coming in.
We'll see
Yep,
if
Q can
everybody
play it safe.
behind follows suit. Yep, looks like Sheldo's in. Slow poke rods, Raider. Fast
So it looks like
Cougar.
Q's the only one right now that's really gonna try to push that map. See if he can make it.
Indeed, we still haven't seen any rain yet, and he is so far ahead. I think he might make it around, even if it starts raining now. He's far enough through
Raindrops
this
on his
lap.
windshield.
I hear it.
Yep, there's raindrops on Q's windshield. Moisture meter's coming up.
There we go. It's going to be a race around. Should give him a great extra lead here, getting this one extra lap on the slick tire. He's going to be coming around. Still the moisture meter there in the bottom left-hand corner, still in the bottom third, so he is safe. As we see, Wade is going to come out on the full wets. Amarillo Dash coming out on the full wets. Slick on the wets. Sheldo wets. Slowpoke Rods wets. There's the rain. It's starting to get slick. Shaggy Doo comes out on the enters and takes a full tank of fuel. One more corner to
Q's gonna get
go.
it slowed down.
Can he get it stopped? This is where we saw so many drivers lose out. Can he get it turned? The rain is coming down. Don't pick up a penalty. And he gets into the pits. Very nicely done from Q.
Well, right, no kidding.
So this is where Shaggy on the intermediates is going to have a little bit of an advantage at the beginning of this, as the rain still hasn't fully formed on the track. Looks like pretty much everybody else. Intermediates for Shaggy, wets. Intermediates for Raider. Mr. Casual goes with the enters. Stamps goes with the enters. Better Dan on the enters. VIP Cornbread on the enters. So the front runners came out on the wets, and everybody else chose intermediates.
Yeah, I think it's just a
everybody
matter
took
of.
fuel except for Amarillo.
Yeah, I think right now that it's just the intermediates to the versus the wets is just a matter of how soon do you plan on going in to get back on slick? Like how comfortable are you in that dry line, and how you gonna really feel good being out there making a mistake?
Indeed. And Papa, you just pointed out Amarillo Dash did not refuel, and he moved up several positions because of that.
Yeah, he did.
So that is how Amarillo Dash got up into, as Shaggy gets a little squirrely coming out of the final corner. But yes, Amarillo Dash up to P3. Here we go, and look at that moisture meter is now in full wets territory.
That is going to hurt Armadillo later, though.
Yeah, he will have to refuel quite a bit on his second pit stop. The battle is still on. You see Slowpoke, Sheldo, Slick, and there goes Slowpoke up the inside, and he gets Sheldologist. Very nicely done.
Shell decided to break on that racing line where all that grease is with the rain, and he just couldn't stop as fast and just lost the position out front.
Indeed, yeah, good point about the wet and dry line. We touched on that a little bit yesterday as well. When the track is this wet, you don't want to be on that traditional racing line because it is greasy, and you tend to get more grip off that line.
So, just as a explanation of wets versus intermediates, top 6 are all on wet tires. You've had that grip since the heavy rain's fallen. As this starts drawing out, you're going to see the guys back there on the intermediate start pushing back into those top runners.
Indeed, Slowpoke Rod's getting squirrely all over the place. Same with Sheldo further back. Slowpoke Rod's wanting to get this P4 off of Slick. You can see Slick also did not take any fuel, which is what allowed him up into P4. So different strategies here. We're seeing it all play out right in front of us. We are almost to that halfway point as well. Windshield wipers going, spray everywhere. And here we go, Slowpoke Rod's looking for a move. He's on the outside. Can he cut back and get the position? There he goes for this cutback. He's on the accelerator. It looks like he's going to get by. Beautiful, beautiful move by Slowpoke Rods. Very nicely done. Textbook cutback. Textbook. See Shaggy applying pressure to Sheldologist. Shaggy on the inters. Sheldo on the full wets. Fast Cougar just behind. Man, and these drivers are still being so consistent even in these conditions. It's very impressive to see. Coming through, still not that huge of a gap. I mean, Q is out of this race already, but everybody else still maintaining very close racing. Looks like FAF Wade is also pulled away a bit up there in P2, but P3 through, what was that, P8, all on top of each other. Slowpoke Rod's trying to get away from Slick. Sheldo trying to catch up, and here we go in the background. Fast Cougar going on Shaggy Doo. Fast Cougar up the inside. He hasn't made that inside line work yet this whole race, and there you have it. Unable to get it done yet again. You can see this. What are you seeing here, Papa, as far as what's he doing wrong, not able to get this done?
Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't think he did anything wrong. He's got to be careful in the rain taking that inner line. And with Shaggy holding that outside, there's only so much you can do. He can get into the throttle a little bit quicker. That's going to keep him ahead.
Yeah, that's just another example of the wet line versus the dry line.
Yeah.
And that how, with all this water, that normal racing line is like driving on banana peels. The line you normally wouldn't think is going to stick is where these wet tires like to grab.
Indeed.
Yeah, that's under braking and acceleration. Oh.
Yep.
Oh.
Amarillo Dash there. Still maintaining that P3 position. Getting a little squirrely. Slowpoke Rod's trying to catch him. Looks like he is succeeding. And you can see the time difference, you know, over 6 seconds slower in these wet conditions. Actually, about over 10 seconds slower in these wet conditions.
Yeah.
Yep. You'll see. You'll notice too once it starts to drop down below that third mark, you'll see their lap time start to come down by 1 second, by 1 second.
Yep.
As the track starts to dry out, you can see still Fast Cougar on Shaggy Doo's bumper. Goes for the inside yet again. And now he does get the run. Made it work.
Shaggy went a little wide.
Yeah, Shaggy did go
Shaggy
wide there.
Shaggy got a little wide and tried to accelerate through the paint and just didn't get any traction in the left rear room.
He did a good job, though, to keep it on the track and not get a track limits penalty.
Right, right.
But he does lose the position to Fast Cougar. This is a
I
great...
think that's just one of those... I was just going to say that I think that's just one of those drawbacks to Shaggy. I don't know what I meant. Is you can't really get it down into the gear you want it to for rotation. And I think it just didn't kick down that extra gear he wanted it to for that corner. Right. Just pushed him a little wide.
Yeah, and I think here in about 2, maybe 3 laps, you're going to start seeing these intermediates come in. And you're probably going to watch Shaggy drive right back by Cougar and possibly even Sheldologist here in front of him.
Mm-hmm.
If y'all,
it wouldn't surprise me to see Shaggy stay out two laps more than most of the guys do on the intermediates, just because he knows how to keep the tires cool. He knows how to run those tires.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what happened there, but you see Raider, who was up in this mid-pack battle, has fallen back to P10. We start lap 18 of 30. If y'all are enjoying this race and the stream and everything, please hit that like button. Consider subscribing to Salamander's channel. He's doing a great job running the cameras and does a lot of stuff behind the scenes. So show Shaggy some love. Hit that like button, subscribe, share it with friends. We're always here having a good time.
Shell's going to go on the defensive here. See if Cougar can get around him. Nope, didn't think so. He's going to have the acceleration. Come on.
And they're bringing Shaggy back into play.
Yep.
Shaggy, now that it is the intermediate tire is coming back to him. He's going to have the inside line here. He's able to brake a little bit later. Sheldo ahead, though. Sheldo putting his car in front of Shaggy. Oh, and Fast Cougar goes a little bit wide, and that allows Shaggy ahead. And now he's got Sheldo in his sights. And there he goes. Another move coming from Shaggy. Up the inside on Sheldologist. Can he get it done? He will be on the inside. It looks like battling up ahead as well. Shaggy up into P6. That's 2 positions in 1 sector. And there we go. Shaggy back on the prowl as we see Amarillo Dash applying pressure to Slick.
And Shaggy's the first one on the intermediate. You're going to see him run these two down probably by the end of this front stretch.
Let's look at this again here.
So much.
Yeah, Shaggy was able to get more on the brake a little later because he was on that wet line. Shell was kind of outside in the racing line. It was definitely a little stop there.
Very nice overtake.
Textbook, yeah.
And look at that. Shaggy now ahead of Amarillo Dash into P5. Now he's got Slick in his sights. And Shaggy get up into P4 by the end of this lap. And you see further back, Sheldologist having to defend against Mr. Casual. As Mr. Casual now moving up potentially into P7 if he can get the power down ahead of Fast Cougar. Trying to get past Sheldologist. They're going side by side. Sheldo will have the inside. No, he has the overspeed and back ahead of Mr. Casual. Mr. Casual going for a look of the inside. Space is given. Can he get on the power? It's getting a little squirrely there, but very nicely done. Mr. Casual up into P7.
Good pass.
There it was again, though. I mean, it's, you know, that line that's off of the racing line. You just get so much better traction with the wet and intermediate tires than you do being on the racing line where Sheldo was, and Sheldo just could not gain the traction to keep and hold that outside line.
Mr. Casual's our next driver on the intermediate, so. And Shaggy right now, he's taking chunks out of P3's time.
And, oh, Mr. Casual being bold. Sheldologist follows him in. First driver's going to be on to the Slick tire. It seems a bit early for that. But here we go. Let's take a look at it again. As you see Mr. Casual, I mean, he's on the curb, straddling that curb, getting it done. Very nicely done for Mr. Casual. I'm amazed that he was able to get the traction.
I think lap 19 yesterday at races is when PHG Josh Moment did it as well. And he made it work, so.
It's going to be real sketchy coming out of that pit.
Oh, yeah.
Very sketchy. But these drivers are going to be drying out the track while they're in the pits. So they will have that. Looks like Cornbread picked up a penalty. Casual comes out. It's wet. He's on the mediums, and there we go. He's on the dry line. And a very bold move from Mr. Casual. Sheldologist as well, but Sheldo on the hards.
Yep, no room for error now.
You see Shaggy Do in P4, looking to catch up to Slowpoke Rods, who's about 4 seconds ahead. And it looks like things have calmed down ever so slightly. Raider now in P8 on the bumper of Fast Cougar. Fast Cougar just, I mean, he hasn't gotten a single break this whole race.
Maybe they're just distracted to the green.
Yeah, right? Looks like, are these drivers staying out? We see a couple dive into the pits. Raider and Fast Cougar staying out. Better Dan staying out as well. Not feeling like the track is quite dry enough.
No, but but it's also still too dry for these intermediate and wet tires now, where you see them dipping them in the water, try and cool them off to elongate their life a little bit.
Indeed. We should promote Mr. Casual up a few positions there, having gone into the pits a little bit early.
You should have enough fuel to make it to the end now too. So as long as you can keep it tidy, these guys that are still out on intermediates and wets is going to pick up quite a few more positions when they go in.
Very impressive. I mean, this race is not disappointing at all.
Now we're a little spread out at the moment, but I think you're going to see a lot of these guys bunch back up.
Yeah.
Once the end pit stops are done.
We're currently on lap 21.
Amarillo Dash and P13 slid a little bit coming out of the pit. Picked up a 3-second pin.
Oof. So easy to do, as we also see Q in the pits. And yep, right there, just got a little squirrely, crossed the line, and gets punished for it.
Yeah, and so taking all that fuel on that second stint really hurt him in the 3-second penalty added.
Shaggy's gonna inherit the lead for a little bit here. Oh, wait, Q might be coming out in front of him still. Yep.
Yeah,
he's on the hards.
Yeah. Q makes it out safely.
How's Shaggy looking on gas?
Half a tank, just over half a tank still.
Right.
You know, I'm wondering at this point if he's going to try to actually stretch it on the intermediates all the way to the end.
I mean, we did see Corridor do it. He's got a 7-second gap currently to Raider. Raider also still needs to pit, so a Raider as well could be going for that one-stop strategy. Mr. Casual now up into P6 due to all those pit stops. FAF Wade on the racing hards. Track is looking pretty dry. Still wet off the racing line, but right there, plenty of grip to be had. Mr. Casual on the mediums in P5.
He's definitely going to have an advantage on some of these guys on the hard with kind of speed he can carry on that dry line as opposed to the hard runners.
Indeed, and we saw Cornbread there also still on the intermediate tires. Sam's currently in P12 on the racing hards. He's got Slick just ahead. Amarillo Dash, having served his penalty, is minute 20 seconds off the leader. Oh, and he did have a little bit of front end damage. It is now cleared up, so he must have had a second incident as well. Back on board with our leader, Shaggy really gaining on him. 2.5-second gap. And I don't see how he can catch him being on those intermediate tires and Q being on the racing tires. But with that 7-second gap to Raider also still on the inters. I mean, this could be a solid P2 for Shaggy here.
Yeah, their next competition will be P4 with FAF Wade, who is currently just under 19.5 seconds behind Q. About 17 seconds, 16 seconds to Shaggy. Wade would actually have to close, what, about at least 2.5 seconds per lap.
And here comes Slowpoke Rods and Better Dan, both on racing tires, while VIP Cornbread is on the intermediates. This should be fairly straightforward for them to get by into the next braking zone. However, going off the line, it is still a bit wet, so it is going to make that overtake slightly difficult, but based on what we've seen from Slowpoke Rods, I don't think it's going to be an issue.
Yeah, you really once this dry line shows up like this, you really don't want to be trying to. There it
Oh,
is. There it is. You just touch that water a little bit, and you're not going to have any kind of steering, braking, nothing. So
and that,
corner overtaking right now is just a no-no. If you can capitalize on a mistake or get by in a straight, is about the only time that there's going to be any overtaking.
indeed. And you can see Cornbread getting back over to the wet line to cool off those tires. He's going to lose another
Yep.
position, just falling back even more. Fast Cougar coming up. Vetterdan applying good pressure to Slowpoke rods here, just staying attached to his bumper, trying to get into the top 5.
Better Dan at the on the race mediums.
You see Sheldo getting by VIP Cornbread into turn 2. Can he keep it? A little tap from behind. Doesn't look like that affected anything. Well done to Sheldo. Up into P7. Coming down the hill into the right-hander. I mean, I'm very impressed. We've really not seen too many people out of shape like we saw yesterday.
You know, see, Slowpoke is on the hards and Dan is on the mediums, and Dan he's got the exit speed with those mediums, but as long as Slowpoke can do what he was doing earlier with just clogging up the line, not giving an inch, and
Yep.
it's going to make it really hard for Dan to get by him here.
Oh,
Like
here
here's
we go.
pressing
Here
in
he
the wet,
goes. Nope, he
but
thinks
he
better of it.
They had to back out of it. The only
Gotta
choice
be
you
an extra
had was
here.
to get a better exit. You got a little squirrely, so maybe next.
And a yellow flag. Not sure what's going on here. But
Somebody's
somebody had an incident. Looks like that
Shaggy's got
yellow
to have second
flag.
penalty.
Shaggy up in P2. I wonder if that was an incident there. But looks like everything is cleared as Vetterdan continues to apply pressure to Slowpoke rods.
I think it might have been P4 Wade. He's suddenly 16 seconds behind Raider.
Oh, yeah, and he had some damage as well. So
Yeah.
unfortunate for Wade, but still holding on to that P4 as here we go. Vetterdan trying to go up the inside.
He's in that wet line though.
Yep, he backs out of it, unable to get by. He just needs to be patient. But Sheldo now is starting to gain on them.
And Dan would do himself a definite service here if he didn't stick right on the bumper of Slowpoke, actually gave a little bit of room so that he could try to get him on exit speed on a straight instead of trying to pressure him in a corner. Because if Dan tries to take him in a corner, he's not going to be able to stop.
Yeah, that's a very good point, Jersey. Coming in to the final turn, and
they just a little too close, so that extra speed that he had just translated into a bump trap instead of actually having the extra speed to get by. Oh, but he might have him here. Nope, he chooses to get behind.
He's just
I believe that's
playing.
the move you made yesterday, Jersey.
What's that?
Coming down the front stretch like that.
Yes, I knew that I couldn't get by him in the corner. Yep, I knew I couldn't get him out of the corner, so the only option I had was, to try and carry more speed out of the corner and just maybe dip 2 tires in a straight line.
Ooh, and there we go. Vetterdan up the inside at Sheldo.
No.
But he was able to keep the car pointed in the right direction. Could have been
a little
worse.
front end damage.
You can see up ahead, Vetterdan up the inside, very clean, good pass, able to get the throttle down, and you can see, right there, just a little bit evasive, and into the wall he goes. Unfortunate for Sheldo.
Sheldo definitely hit the mystery pebble there.
Indeed, you never know what you're going to get. Vetterdan now into P5. Shaggy making those enters work, but now Raider also on the enters just behind. P2 and P3 going for the one stop, but Q has checked out once again. And with the 10-second gap to Wade and only 4 laps remaining, I think Shaggy and Raider have this one locked up for the podium, barring any mistakes.
Yeah, but it was just a couple laps ago. I told you there was a 16-second gap. Wade's coming fast. This is all going to get interesting.
Key thing for Shaggy and Raider at this point, if they're just going to try and go the whole way, is just minimize the wear on those tires, because Wade is going to come rushing up on that dry line.
You can see Cornbread now under threat from Slick. I believe Cornbread is also still on the intermediate tire, going for the inside line. A bit defensive. That's going to force Slick onto the wet curb, and nowhere for him to go. VIP Cornbread able to maintain position. So here we go. Wade trying to catch Raider. Raider has caught Shaggy.
Yep.
And this is going to be a battle for P2, both on the enters, both trying to keep their tires cool in the wet.
Yeah, Raiders' tires are really suffering.
And I don't think Shaggy's are even worse, as we saw another little yellow there for a second, but doesn't seem like anything to be worried about.
No, that left front's non-existent for Shaggy.
No, it's not, as they're about to start lap 28 of 30. 3 laps to go.
Wade has him in sight. You can see him. Only half straight behind.
Yeah. There's still plenty of racing.
That is very impressive, as Raider gets by Shaggy on the exit there.
Raider is taking those intermediates into the dry line to get more exit speed on the corners, whereas Shaggy's trying to stay in the water on the inside, so he's losing speed going into the corners. But Raider now, if he wants to stay ahead of Shaggy, he's got to keep using that dry line for as much speed as possible. He's going to eat that right in front up, just like Shaggy had.
Indeed, and look, there's Wade, only 1.7 seconds. He's in a span of 3 turns. He's closed down 3 seconds to these guys.
Yeah, he's definitely Wade. Yep. Dan on the mediums, Wade on the hards. I mean, it's going to be tight here at the end. These guys are going to really bunch up, and much defending Shaggy and all to do here to keep him from getting by is really going to be tough.
And there we
Shaggy
go.
can clog that dry line, because Wade cannot get out in the wet. Oh, he let him by.
Wow, he easily passed Shaggy there. Shaggy now into P4. Wade up into P3, and it looks like he's going to get Raider going into turn 2. Vetterdan now past Shaggy. Shaggy really struggling on those enters. Wade now all over the back of Raider as they come up the hill. Can he get him going into turn 2, as Raider's just trying to keep those tires cool and not give any slipstream to FAF Wade?
No, I think this is just a battle of attrition at this point. They're going to get by. There's not much they can do.
Yeah.
And here it is.
Wade.
They come down into turn 2. These cars are light, low on fuel. These drivers have been racing 29 laps. One more to go after this one. Side by side, Raider and Vetterdan gets a 2-for-1 special.
Got them both.
There's the advantage of those mediums that I was talking about for this dry line.
That was very impressive from Vetterdan. You could see as Wade and Raider go side by side into this corner. Might have been a slight contact, as Wade turns into Raider there, and that allows Vetterdan just to slip on by.
Yeah, Raider's tires were cooked, and he really did everything he could to try and turn the car, but he just there was no way that car was turning.
FAF Slowpokes has got by Shaggy, and Cougar's about to do the same. Shaggy's falling really fast here.
Yeah, not much he can do.
Sheldologist is next.
There he goes. Shaggy just getting out of the way now. Conceding. You can see Raider also losing out up there further ahead, as our we start the final lap. Final lap. Q with a commanding lead. He's actually about to lap somebody. Very impressive racing here.
Yeah, I think Amarillo Dash is already a lap behind, or a lap down to Q.
This is very impressive racing here. Seeing these drivers move up there, because Vetterdan, he started 6th and Wade started 5th. So good on them moving up into those podium positions. Q coming around to the final turn. He will take victory of Split 2, Round 5 of Season 3 of PHG World Series. Well done, Q. 30 seconds back, we have Better Dan. Amarillo Dash.
There it is.
Really struggling. Unfortunate to see, but here comes Dan. He is ahead of Wade, making the strategy work well for him. Gonna take home
really
a
for
P2.
For Dan, it was really a testament there on how little time per lap that he was losing on the hards.
Here's Wade. And look at this. Look at this Raider trying to hold on with those enters. Slowpoke Cougar Sheldo. Oh my.
Raider just clogging up the conga line right there, saying, nope, I'm taking it.
Very impressive by Raider to not lose any more positions than he did. Very nicely done. Another intermediate runner here, VIP Cornbread coming around for P11.
Yeah, once we started to get past about lap 24, 25, those intermediates just started cooking like bacon in the sun on the dry part of the track.
I agree.
Here comes RTR Stamps on the racing hards. Gonna finish this one, close it out, P12. GG's, y'all.
Nice. Strategy.
And dominance from Q, moving up one position. Well done. Woo, Papa, will you take us through our results here?
Finishing orders. We have Q. Also with the best lap of the race with a 130.081. Taking our win in his WRX. Right behind him, over 31 and a half seconds. Back to P2 and Better Dan. P3 and rounding out the podium, we have FAF Wade. Congratulations to the podium winners. P4 Raider holding off with those intermediates. Right behind him, we have FAF Slowpoke Rods. PHG Fast Cougar QC rounding out the top 6. PHG Sheldologist, who led quite a bit of the first part of this race. P7. And then P8, PHG Slick. All WRXs, top 8. We have our Lancer Brigade with PHG Shaggy Doo holding on for a top 10 in P9. Mr. Casual rounding out top 10. I think he started 10th, finished 10th, so he was able to hold his position. And then in 11th, VIP Cornbread, that Lancer. And here in the back, we have RTR Stamps and PHG Amarillo Dash.
Very, very nice. Well, what a race we had. There was not a moment that somebody wasn't battling someone. Before we go to break, let's pick our drivers of the race. Papa, we'll start with you.
Well, the obvious is Q. I mean, that was just major domination. And I'd like to say Casual, but he didn't really gain anything. So we can't say
he didn't pull it off.
Yeah, he didn't pull it off. Either did Cornbread. I expected something with Cream 2, but I think Cornbread was maybe playing something with the fuel mileage game, and that just didn't work out for him too. I'm gonna have to go with Better Dan. Not pick the obvious. So it was a great come through the field, finishing the P2, taking the podium there.
Indeed, yeah. He started P6, so that was a very
Yeah.
impressive run from Dan. How about you,
Yeah.
Jersey?
Well, since Papa just stole my mix there, who I was going with Better Dan. I mean, be honest, then, if you don't want to take him and you don't want to nominate him, I'll nominate Q for that one just because I didn't see any mistakes.
Nope.
He capitalized right off the beginning, just no holds barred, full send. I'm out of here. I got this, and
Yep.
never looked back. Never had to look back.
He really didn't.
I'm
I
gonna
mean,
go
he had
with you.
nothing to look back at.
Exactly.
There's nobody there. Well, I'll go with
Just spray painted the rearview mirror black.
I'll go with Wade, who started P5. So much like Vetterdan, moved his way up the field, did an excellent job there. Some good battling. So we'll say Wade for that one. Again, I do want to thank our sponsors. We got Miss Chronicles, Vex Graphic Design, Lithograph Comics, and 4D Racewear. Check those out. Again, please like and subscribe. Salamander's doing a great job. Show him some love. We are going to take a short break, and then we have one more race for y'all. So don't go anywhere. But, I mean, go use the bathroom, get a snack, whatever you need to do. But come right back, and we will, let your dog out. And we will be back for one more exciting race.
Yo, lights out, engines roar, season 3 PHG, we back for more. Tracks are set, combos tight, Shaggy laid it down, it's a racer's delight. Buckle up teams, it's time to thrive. PHG World Series, we going live! We going live! Rubber burns, curves kiss the breeze. GT7 streets where legends see. Shaggy cooked the recipe, fire in the stew. Cars and tracks match like a dance for the crew. From hairpin bends to straights that scream. Every line a story, every race a dream. Fuel in the veins, adrenaline spree. Welcome to the jungle, season 3.
Clock's ticking, engines kicking, every second counts, feel the friction. New teams rolling, old champ flex. Rev it up, y'all. Who's next?
Season 3, let the tires sing. PHG, where the fast take wing. Welcome racers to the grand design.
Speed meets hard on every finish line.
Season 3, yeah, it's time to ignite. Strapping tight,
It's a furious flight.
I see sparks fly, the tarmac glows. Races in sync like a symphony flows.
Strategy spin, minds on the wheel. Every move calculated, every turn you feel. Teams collide, rivalries bloom under the floodlights. Engines boom. Ladies and gents, take your stance. PHG's the stage, here's your chance.
Yeah.
Apex hunters chasing the crown. Draft through the pack, don't slow down.
Pit stop precision, seconds to spare.
Victory's a breath, snatch it from the air.
Season 3, let the tires sing. PHG, where the fast take wing. Welcome racers to the grand design.
Speed meets hard on every finish line.
Season 3, yeah, it's time to ignite. Strapping tight,
It's a furious flight.
Yeah. Yo, PHG in the lobby. Yeah, lights flash, engines rise. Season 3 begins, and the world's watching with wide eyes. Yeah. Drivers from all nations, every flag in flight. The grid is stacked heavy, competition's tight, but PHG rolls deep, steady nerve, sharp aim. Every corner carved clean, every lap pure flame. Built the squad from grit, no shortcuts, no favors. Earned every ounce of respect from rivals and haters. But when the pressure peaks and the storm grows greater, there's one name whispered: Shaggy the Rainmaker. Dark clouds roll whenever he takes the track. Rivals feel the thunder rumbling right up their backs. When that visor drops, whole lobby starts to quake. Cause Shaggy makes the rain fall heavier than heartbreak. Cause Shaggy makes makes the rain fall heavier than heartbreak. Yeah, yeah, hey. Moves unified, every driver locked in. Strategy like clockwork. Patience wearing thin, slipstreams tighten. The tires start to scream. This ain't luck, this is craft, this is PHG's team. Rain or shine, the grind stays endless. Every driver fearless, every line relentless. But when the sky goes black and the storms get great, everyone knows what's coming. The Rainmaker, Shaggy the Rainmaker. Bring the thunder, bring the spray, make the legends shake. Season 3 is ours, history's ours to make. Team PHG forever, destiny will take us. Every storm on track starts with Shaggy the Rain. The Ring of Rain, make a way away. Make a way away, make a way away. The way, the Ring of Rain, make a way away. Make a way away, make a way away. Yeah. Season 3, engines loud. PHG, standing proud. And when the storm rolls in, you already know something that. You already know something that. You already know something that. Shaggy the Rainmaker, bring the thunder, bring the spray, make the legend shake. Season 3 is ours, history's ours to make. Team PHG forever, destiny will take us. Every storm on track starts with Shaggy the Rain. The way away, make a way away, make a way away, make a way away. The way away, make a way away, make a way away, make a way away. I don't know why, but the skies always break every time Shaggy sets the stakes. He lines up the lobbies, the cars all shine. But here comes a storm, right on time. Oh, Rainmaker, why you gotta pour? We just want the track dry, nothing more. Every race, we're splashing through the lane. Shaggy, my friend.
And we're back. Hope everybody had a good break there. Got everything done that you needed to. Oh my goodness, I'm exhausted from that race.
There's a lot going on throughout the field.
Yeah.
I mean, that was very impressive. So well done to all of our drivers. Do we have
Yeah.
a vote completed? Let's see who our driver of the race was, and very nice, 56% voted for Vetter Dan. Well done, Dan.
Better
You
Dan.
definitely earned it. And you know, we can't find a better Dan than you. So we got another race here. Real quick, let me thank our sponsors once again. Miss Chronicles, pick that up on Amazon. 3 great books from Tuzzenbox. Lithograph Comics, you can find them on Instagram. If you enjoy comics or interested in getting into comics, check them out. You can also scan that QR code. Vex Graphic Design, our very own PD Snow. A lot of these graphics and stuff you're seeing in this broadcast are done by them. If you need graphic designs, reach out to them, and they would be happy to help you out with that. And then, of course, we have 4D Racewear, 4dracewear.com. Papa's showing it right there. Gloves, shoes, hats, jerseys, everything you need sim racing, you can get it there. And what is that promo code again, Papa?
The Salamander 10X.
Salamander 10X for 10% off. Go use it. That would be awesome. All right, let's get into it here and take a look. In case you missed the first race, here's what we got going on here. We got the Red Bull Ring, 30 laps. We know rain is coming. 3 times tire wear. Racing hards are required, but the mediums are also allowed. However, no racing softs. Then we have 3 times fuel wear with a 3 liter per second refuel rate. And we saw how much that affects your pit stop time.
Mhm.
Then the drivers had to choose between the Group 3 Lancer and the Group 3 WRX. And we can take a
Or
look.
the third option, you can choose to have the Subaru Rancer,
The Subaru
like
Lancer that
Shaggy.
Shaggy drove for
Lanceroo.
sure. The Lanceroo.
It's a
So
real.
we have 34.8% of the drivers chose the Lancer and 65.2 chose the WRX. They both have their
Either one.
advantages, but they still seem fairly equal. So I think it comes down to driving style and preference. So, split 4, Papa. Who are these drivers here?
We have RSR Zilla, Sector 7 Nuke, RTR Diablo, Sector 7 Stigxander, FAF Elzo, PHG Strychnine, Speed Bump, Shazam, BHR Old Man Pip, Cotton Ballistics, T-Rex Arms, PHG SPC. Can't decide which team he's on, but that's Cole, just so y'all know. FAF Jimmy K9 and BHR Johnny Boy. I'm just giving you crap, Cole. Good to see you here, man.
Interesting. Interesting to see some of those drivers in split 4. That's just showing you how competitive this league has gotten. How
Yeah.
many drivers showed up for qualifying? Do you know off the top of your head?
What do we have? 60 something, right?
67, 68.
Oh wow! So
It
several
was,
drivers unable to make the
yeah,
cut.
yeah.
This is so. I mean, this is our 3rd season, but I remember when we were, we couldn't even fill up 4 full splits. And, I'm
Yeah.
hearing that we had 69, which scientifically proven to be the funniest number. Um, so 69 drivers showed up, and very impressive to see. So you definitely have to put in the work if you want to compete in this league. And I say it every week. I love what Shaggy's done. He does the qualifying during the week. There's 2 nights you can qualify, Tuesday and Wednesday. Depending on your time, that determines your split. So every split is going to be competitive. And I love to see it. Some drivers excel at the Red Bull Ring, others do not. So we're seeing some drivers who maybe were towards the bottom now up at the top and vice versa. And
Yeah.
I love that about this league. I think it's really fun.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, I do like that. I love that about this league too. And I think he added in a whole new mix this season too with turning the drafting off for split
Mm,
qualifying. And it really just bunched the fields up so much tighter and made it that much cutthroat for each split.
Which you would think would have the opposite effect
yeah, right.
because people
You would
aren't using
think
that split to stay tight. You would think it would, but it has
you
definitely made, I mean, what was it? 1.7 seconds, I think, from first to 56th this week.
That is
Yep.
amazing. That is amazing. It's good to see, and like whenever I click on lobbies and see lobbies with friends, you see at least 3 practice lobbies all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Everybody's
Yep.
putting in work. And if you are a part of the Discord, please join the Papa's House of Game Discord. There's great discussion. People are helping each other, working together,
Yeah.
discussing strategies, sharing, what they've learned. And you don't see that in a lot of leagues, but it's very cool to see that here. Really proud to be a part of this league, being a part of PHG. Papa says it all the time: great racers, better people, and we try to do that as best we can. And we've been seeing it in these races. I mean, there may be a couple tickets opened. I think in this last race there was a couple questionable overtakes where maybe not enough space was given, but then when you look at the situation, there wasn't really any space to give. So
Right.
there might be a little bit, but I mean, overall, considering the track we're at and the conditions that they're in, I mean, it's been exceptionally
Yes.
clean.
Yeah, I haven't seen any real major issues or anything like that. But it's tight door-to-door action, and guys with maybe a little bit less tire can't really hold on, and stuff happens racing.
And while
Indeed.
we're on the subject, I want to give a huge shout out to our stewards team. Incredible unbiased opinions and results that they have been going throughout this whole season. I've been highly impressed with how it's been put together and how they're handling things. So kudos to you guys, man.
Yeah, stewarding is something I do not do. Uh,
That's a
I
tough
don't
spot.
want any part of it. I don't want any
Right.
part of it. It is not easy, and especially in a community like this, we do have to stay unbiased, which is hard to
Yeah.
do because I mean, I've known y'all for what 3 years now.
Yeah.
We've been racing together. We've been doing all sorts of stuff, and we got to keep it unbiased. We got to keep it fair. Great job. Who did the rules? Did-
MMR Oak, I think, put all
Oak
that
did the
together.
okay. There we
And
have.
it's
I
like
mean, it's
it's just amazing.
yeah, it's all there. So the rules are laid out. We have precedents in order, and it is what it is. And I really like that about this league.
I mean, and the stewards to maintain that unbiased, we've got stewards from different teams, people that aren't on a team, people that aren't even racing. They're just being the steward for the races. I mean,
Mhm.
it's amazing, the team that's been put together.
Yeah, it is very impressive. And again, big shout out to Salamander, who's running this broadcast
Who?
again. Salamander MN, ever heard of him?
No.
Proprietor of the Joker series.
Who?
Huh? What? Y'all like and subscribe. Sal, I've learned so much in the last few months from Salamander. He's helped me a lot when it comes to stream elements, when it comes to OBS, really putting this together. What you're seeing here, these overlays, I mean, that is 100% Salamander doing an excellent job. I just love it. I just love it. It's been great. Check out his Joker series. Once a month, he does the Joker series. It is fantastic. You can also find that on the Papa's House of Game website. Looks like our drivers are on the track. We have RSR Zilla rocking the Lancer. And we have PHG Iron Fix QC in the Subaru. S7R's Stig Xander in the Lancer. FAF's Jimmy K9. Ooh, I like that.
So do I.
Yeah, that's
slick.
nice.
Nice
That
contrast colors. I like that.
FAF Elzo in the Subaru branded Subaru. S7R's Nuke. We got a lot of Sector 7s in this split. Looking good.
Yeah, I
in
like
the
that they all
Lancer.
keep it. I do like that they keep their liveries all the same like that.
And Angry Fredbird, brother to our very own Slow-Mo. If y'all, and my favorite, Booty Sweat.
Booty Sweat.
3 years.
PHG Nasty with the Booty Sweat, keeping it moist. FAF,
Had to go.
SBC, Cole Trickle in the Grinch Mobile. Very fitting for Cole right there. And then, of course, no surprises, Mr. T-Rex Arms, MF Wesley.
Who is now carrying a baby on board.
Oh boy, congratulations to T-Rex Arms. And then we have Shazam! BHR Old Man Pip, looking nice in the green and red Lancer, and RTR Diablo in the WRX.
He did, that's interesting. He did. It looks like he switched up his livery from when I saw him in practice. He had a different livery for that car.
It was
Changing
still
it up.
anime though, huh?
From what I remember, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought he had the. Oh, didn't he have the red devil on the side of it?
Oh. Yeah, actually, I think you're right.
It's going to be T-Rex Arms and Cole kind of have it from a distance similar color schemes here with that green. Oh my goodness. There's oh, that's funny. T-Rex chasing the children, baby on board. Very funny. Loving that Jurassic Park. RSR Zilla leading the way. He's going to be the first across the line to set a time with a 131.7. Great start to this qualifying. 32 from Stig Zander, 32 from Jimmy K9. Nuke with the 32. Anybody else going to move up the board? FAF SPC Cole Trickle across the line. There, that makes more sense. A 131.0. We know Cole can be fast. It's just whether or not he chooses to be fast.
So it sounds like he could be a part of the sandbagging team that I am on, right, Papa?
Absolutely.
The Diablo
Yes,
up into P2.
Yes.
I'll be sure to recruit him if I ever start my own.
There you go. Sandbaggers RS.
Angry
SBU.
Fredbird picked up a half-second penalty. It looks like he's getting out of the way of Cole. I was saying earlier, that's the brother of Slow-Mo. If y'all didn't watch yesterday's broadcast, it's over on my channel. You can find it there at TCase101. I love getting to work with Slow-Mo. He does a great job on lead comms. He knocked it out of the park last night.
He also does a great job defending, as we saw in the last race.
Yep. The back of FAF SPC's car, he's driving the Grinchabishi.
The Grinch.
Grinchabishi. That's funny. 131.4. 131.2. Well done for Stig Zander. Are you going to see anybody tap into those 130s? Nasty going into the pits.
Yep.
Got to clean up some of that booty sweat.
Oh my lord.
I can't help it. I'm immature.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, when you come out of turn one, straddling all that sausage, you gotta clean it.
Exactly. See,
Oh,
Jersey gets it. Jersey
he had
gets
to go
it.
there. Had to go there.
Jersey gets it. He understood the assignment. There we
I
go,
do,
Diablo.
every day.
A 130.8. First driver
There
into
it
the
is.
130s. SPC, can you take it back?
I definitely think we can see him take it back.
I think so. And Stig Zander, he's not far off either.
You can say, don't
That's the
count out
fuel.
Stig.
Not to be confused with PHG Stiggy.
Correct.
Oh,
Another penalty
Took up
there
that penalty.
for Zilla.
Zilla.
Unfortunate. Stig Zander here gonna come down into the penultimate corner. These fast right-handers, when you get them right, oh, does it feel nice. You got to use all the track. Look at him hit that inner apex. He's going to come across the line, 29, 30, 31. No, unable to improve from Stig Zander. Can Nuke improve on his time? Across the line, he does improve, but maintains P6. Here comes T-Rex Arms in the Jurassic Lancer. What is
You know, he might
going to
only
do?
be slightly. I think T-Rex we're only going to see slightly slower just because he's carrying a little bit of extra weight on him.
A little
Yep.
extra rate, got to be safe. Hopefully that car seat is up to code. And SPC up into P2. Jimmy K9 up into P3. Very nicely done from
You know,
Jimmy.
Okay.
Working for Subaru, knowing that our cars are some of the safest on the road, I'm actually quite disappointed that T-Rex is using the Lancer, you know, the less safe Mitsubishi as opposed to the Subaru for your child in the car now. I mean, come on,
Yeah.
get with the
Yeah.
times, man.
The modern day Mitsubishis are not what they used to be. For those who don't know, I am a professional car buyer, and Mitsubishi is one that I tend to stay away from these days.
Only
and
these days?
Yeah, I mean, go back 10 years and I would have bought them, but not anymore. And shout out again, GT Slow-Mo in the chat. Welcome, buddy. He says he is torn. One root for Fred, but he took the Lancer. We all know Slow-Mo
Right,
is
Slow-Mo.
a Subaru driver. Stig
Yes.
Xander takes pole.
There it is.
Diablo P2. Jimmy P3. That's caused Cole Trickle to fall down to P4. And Cole Trickle says,
Right.
barely. That is 8 1,000ths.
My track.
1,000ths of a second. That is insane. That's like the blink of an eye.
Diablo jumping into the pit.
We are 8 minutes and 30 seconds into this 10-minute qualifying. Will Diablo have enough time to get an outlap?
I don't know.
Or is he calling it quits?
I think
he's pretty much. Yeah, I think it's pretty much done at this point.
Stig Xander currently P2, barely 0.008. That is unbelievable. And he is up, but Cole must be up. How is he up but not purple? That don't make any sense. Somebody else must be doing something crazy, or lobbies are crazy sometimes and don't tell the truth.
Isn't it when the when it shows you're up but it's not purple, green and blue like that? I think that means that you set that fastest sector out of all the cars.
And he was unable to improve overall. Going back on board with Cole, can he improve on his 130.7? Coming across the line, and yes. Oh, wow.
Wow.
Good luck, everybody. Cole asserting his dominance. And a slight improvement from Zilla. A good improvement from T-Rex Arms. Shazam! Across the line, improves as well, but nobody able to move up in positions, but getting personal bests. Old Man Pip unable to improve. Nasty's going ahead and showing what tire he's going to start on. He has already switched to the hard. And as Papa said, final lap. Can anybody upset Cole? What do you think, Jersey?
I don't know. We got 0.6 of a second there. That's a drastic jump compared to.
We'll see here. He's only two tenths up, but you can't. I mean, you can find 3/10 in the final sector. You definitely.
I'll tell you what. If you're brave on that last corner, where that little sausage is on the inside, if you want to try and cut that thing, one of two things can happen. You can make up 4/10 instantly, or you can lose all steering and go right off the track.
Yeah, but it looks like he was a little wide, but he did use all the track. You saw that grass kicking up. He improves, but not enough. Next across the line is S7R's Nuke. Can he move up? He improves, but stays P5. Here comes Elzo. He moves up into P5. SPC, no improvement there. Next across the line, currently P7, RSR Zilla. No improvement. T-Rex Arms currently P8. Does not improve. P9 Jazam. No improvement there. Here comes P10 and Old Man Pip. Can Old Man Pip move up at all? Oh, no improvement there. Is that Iron Fix I see? He is currently P12. No improvement. Wow. Okay, so this grid, a bit more spread out. Could shake things up, but well done to Cole Trickle there. That was very impressive. Papa, please, if you don't mind, take us through the grid.
Hey, righty then. We have FAF SPC, the best lap of 130.179. Kind of dominating our pole position. I mean, that's a big jump back to P2 for qualifying, but we have Sector 7, Stig Xander. P1 and P2 are both in the Lancers. P3 in the WRX is RTR Diablo. And P4, FAF Jimmy K9 in his Lancer. Rounding out the top 5, we have another FAF, Elzo in his WRX. P6, Sector 7 Nuke in his Lancer. P7 is RSR Zilla in his Lancer. P8 is T-Rex Arms in his Lancer as well. Got a run of Lancers in the top 8 there. And in P9 in a WRX, PHG just damn. P10 is BHR Old Man Pip in his Lancer. P11, PHG Nasty, WRX. PHG Iron Fix QC and P12 in his WRX. And rounding out the field, we got Angry Fredbird and his Lancer. Don't laugh too much at that slow-mo. He ain't gonna stay there, man.
Wow, what a lineup here. Bit spread out, like we said.
Yeah,
Looks like some people struggle just to kind of get a good solid lap in. But rain is the great equalizer. Wouldn't you agree, Papa?
absolutely. Absolutely. It's so unpredictable. You never know when you're gonna lose it. You get one pixel out on that curve as it's drying out, you're gonna spin. It's just like I said, it's an equalizer.
Indeed. Jersey, anything standing out to you from that qualifying or the grid order that we have set here?
Honestly, I think it's a lot of these guys that are in the back. I don't necessarily think that they set a lot anywhere close to their best lap time. And it's interesting to see that there's such a wide delta. And that's why I think that there's a couple of sleepers in there that maybe didn't turn out their best times in the qualifying, but they're gonna turn it up a notch or two once the race
Right.
starts.
I
Yeah,
agree.
I think you're right. And I think it's going to be interesting to see, especially as the track dries out. Nothing against these drivers, but this is the bottom split. There is a skill level that kind of goes with this. So curious to see how some of these drivers handle the drying out track. I mean, we saw top split drivers get caught out coming out of the pits, trying to get overtakes done. It's going to
Yeah.
be a real challenge. And then also, we talked about it a lot last race, patience. I mean, this is a race of patience. And I'm curious how patient some of these drivers are going to be, especially those starting in the back who maybe felt like they didn't quite get the qualifying that they wanted to.
Yeah. Yeah. And personally, I mean, in this kind of situation, I would look at it as the track is already unforgiving enough in some of these corners when you have all of the track to use. And then now you're going to take it down to about a third of the track that will punish you even more if you get off of it. You really got to figure a lot of these guys later on in the race, you might not want to try to be too aggressive come the last few laps after the track starts to dry out. Try and get your position changes in early.
Hmm. Yeah. And I believe we're going to have a last minute driver added, which is good. There was an open an open position. I'm excited to find out who this driver is going to be, but it will take a minute for Shaggy to get the lobby set. Shaggy putting in work. Again, shout out to PHG Shaggy Doo. I like to call him Shaggy Dooster. Um, Shaggy Dooster doing a great job running all these lobbies. He runs all the qualifying lobbies. So that's 2 lobbies during the week. He runs the lobby Friday night. He runs the lobby Saturday. So clearly he has no life, uh, and is just here to entertain us. And big shout out to Pink Mish for putting up with that lack of a life. Because clearly
he's
Pink
he's
Pink
trying, man.
Pink enjoys it a lot as well. It's fun to have them on board. Been
Yes,
nice
absolutely.
to get to know Mish and have her be a part of this community. Very very fun. I'm trying to think of some other people who are putting in a lot of work for us behind the scenes. Uh,
I do
yeah.
want to add though, real quick, if I could, since I haven't gotten to add it at any point prior. Not only do Pink and Shaggy put in a lot of work with this league and keeping everything organized, but I do want to personally thank them as they did a few months back when I lost my mom. They kind enough to actually buy and donate a tree in my mom's memory.
Wow. That is
Amazing.
beautiful. That is beautiful. Yeah, I again, sorry, very sorry for your loss. It was great to see the community rally around you. There was everybody doing the liveries in honor of your mom and you when we were racing during that time, and that's great. The tree donation, I love that.
Yeah, I forgot. I totally
Very
forgot to
cool.
bring it up on a couple of different occasions, and I was just thinking about it after you brought up Mish, and I never got to truly thank them for their kindness during that time, and they
That is
really didn't have to
beautiful.
do that. It was really,
That
really thank you.
that is beautiful. It is very cool that it's an option. An old family friend, so my parents' friend, but I knew them. I actually worked at their restaurant after I got kicked out of college and needed a job. And he recently passed away, and that was what they asked for. If anybody wanted to do anything, they asked
Mhm.
for the tree donations because he was a big outdoor person and loved being outdoors. So I think that's a great thing that can be done, and cool that somebody thought of doing that is very cool. Um, I
Absolutely.
I also want to Mr. Casual actually stepped up big last weekend because Sal and I, neither of us were available, and Mr. Casual ran his first broadcast um, and did an
Yeah, I got to
excellent
be a part of
job.
that, and it was great.
Yeah, and
Uh,
I gotta say it was Jersey, it was Mustang Chuck and JK85. I thought you guys did an excellent job, all new to kind of the broadcasting side, and that being Mr. Casual's first race broadcast. I thought everyone did
I
a
would not,
really good job.
and with JK, the way he can announce, I would have not thought that it was time either.
Yeah, JK is
And
great. It's good to have him here. And look at this, we are on board. It is currently sunny
It is
in
time.
race
Austria.
time.
The hills are alive with the sound of Mitsus and Subis as we are about to come across the line. And here we go. Everybody gets single file coming into turn one. See if everybody gets it slowed down. We can see Cole on the medium, Stig much later on the brakes. And look at how he gained. And we see somebody go off in the background. Not sure who that was. Not getting their braking done. I believe that was, oh boy, RQRD's notes in the building. Getting
Oh
it
my
all kinds of
lord.
wrong. All kinds of wrong. And here we go into turn two. You can see Stig Xander applying so much pressure to SPC. We did see an
It's going to be a
overtake
much
happen
tighter
early
battle,
on.
I think, in the
Stig
beginning
both
here
on the
than
medium.
the
Yeah.
last race was. I don't think we're going to see anybody necessarily pull away.
No, I agree. And you can
I
see
would agree.
Stig has the inside, which becomes the outside. Can he get it slowed down in time? Will space be given? Cole on the inside, and look at that. Stig sends it and is able to get it done, but SPC still on the inside. He's there. He's going to have to back out. No, he keeps it going, but well done with the overtake from Stig Xander. Very nice. And
Very
now
nice
has a
move, yeah.
little bit of gap. That put Cole on the back foot, and now he has Diablo applying pressure. We saw early overtakes in the last race as well. Let's see if Diablo, also on the mediums, can do anything to Cole. Oh, and a half-second penalty given to Stig Xander. Cole going on the inside. He wants it back. He got the better exit. Looks like Stig
Very
Xander
good.
lost out getting that penalty, running a bit wide. And look at Diablo up the inside as well. Diablo gets ahead of Stig Xander. Well done from Diablo, taking advantage of Stig being on the off the racing line here. Let's look at this again. You can see Stig Xander has to stay wide, and that, look at that. Beautiful move from Diablo.
Diablo just decided to, I'm going to stick my bumper right up out of SPC, so yeah, no back in.
You can't do anything about it. And now Jimmy K9 also ahead of Stig. Stig losing out. We saw something similar from Sheldologist early on, but Stig is on the medium tire, whereas Sheldo was on the hard. Diablo getting a little squirrely, but now able to apply the pressure to SPC. Cole Trickle coming in here, keeping it tight.
Everybody's just out for those initial, get out there, position changes right off the bat, and then everybody's going to kind of settle into a groove here.
Right.
Indeed, I think Diablo would like to get the lead. He is being very aggressive, and look up the inside of SPC. SPC is going to have to carry it around the outside. These are two right-handers. SPC runs wide. Looks like that could potentially be a penalty. Does he run wide a second time? No. And
I
it
think he
looks
was
like
tapped. Yeah.
you think a little bit of contact there, and
Little bit.
allows him to keep the position without getting a penalty. Great hard racing we're seeing here. I'm not seeing anything egregious as you see Diablo getting a little swirly in the background, allowing Jimmy K9 to move up. And Elzo has now gotten ahead of Stig Zander as well. Stig Zander falling back to P5.
Well, I think it was that half-second penalty that he had to serve.
Yes.
Now he's just got to shake it off, really, and just try to keep himself focused and take the positions back one at a time.
Head
Good
down,
work, yep.
keep moving forward. You saw Elzo get a little squirrely, which allowed Stig to get a better run out of the corner. So far, all the drivers we've seen are on the racing mediums. And you see Stig getting a little out of shape.
I figured to see this more in this.
And Zilla!
Oh, Zilla!
Zilla on the throttle. We saw Jazam was on the hards. Wonder what tire Zilla was on as he on the mediums. You would think he would have the grip for that. What do you think happened here, Jersey?
I think if he came out of the corner in second gear, I think he just gave it a little too much. Yep, right out into and TC, and away he goes.
Unfortunate to see. And you know, and this track again, most of the spins and crashes have all been self-inflicted. As SBC
Welcome to Red Bull Ring.
Welcome to the ring. And Stig Zander now fighting back against Elzo. Elzo with a 1 second penalty. Stig Zander up the inside, gets a little squirrely. That's going to allow Elzo on the exit, pushing those track limits. But again, Elzo does have that 1 second penalty.
Zander wants to defend here. Definitely wants to defend.
He does, and
the
Nuke.
guys are going to work together here.
Two teammates going up the inside on Elzo. Elzo keeping it straight, but again with the 1 second penalty. Nuke just behind Stig Zander. And there we go. Stig Zander ahead of Elzo. Should allow Nuke. Stig Zander goes defensive. Surprising to see such a hard defense as he goes deep. He tries to go too late on the brakes. And into the kitty litter he goes. That is a tough one downhill. Talk us through this one, Jersey, as well.
It honestly just looks like he just missed his breaking point. He's trying to not give up as many positions as possible and just laid on the brakes, not enough time to stop, and off into the meow man.
And that's where, I mean, we talked about it so much in the last race. Patience, patience, patience. He could have not defended and lost one position, but instead lost several and still has the penalty to serve. Diablo maintaining that tight gap there on SPC, not giving Cole any room to breathe. Cole still with the fastest lap, and now S7R are 4-5. Are they going to work together, or does Nuke want to take that position from Stig?
I think early on you're going to see them work.
Oh, no!
Oh.
Again and again and again. Answers our question. Nuke is gone, but he keeps it going. Oh, my goodness. Papa, what do we see here?
I think he just hit that curb here in turn one, this little dip, got on the gas too soon, and around he goes.
It kind of looked like
he didn't hit nothing, so
yeah,
really quick recovery.
He kept it on track, pointing in the right direction. It did look like Stig Zander went a little deep, and perhaps Nuke was just doing his best not to go into the back of him, which kind of caused him to take an awkward line and turn while accelerating, which is never a good idea.
Yeah, you have a couple of different factors there. You know, you got a little bit of dirty air from the car in front. It's going to affect your downforce for your turn in, and then that T1, man, that elevation change going over that hill just gets that rear suspension just to lift up just a hair. That's all it takes.
Unfortunate, and you can see there as well. RQRD's nuts with a half-second penalty. You're not Canadian, sir. I know for a fact he's not Canadian. He's lying. D's nuts are lying. Jimmy K9 with a half-second penalty as well. Currently in P3. Top three drivers on the racing mediums. Loving to see this battle up front. Diablo not giving Cole any room to breathe. So we're going to take a look here and see what all these drivers are doing tire-wise. So we see SPC on the mediums, Diablo also on the mediums, Jimmy K9 on the mediums, Stig Xander on the mediums, T-Rex Arms catches it, good save on the mediums, S7R Nuke also on the mediums. We got Old Man Pip is our first driver on the hards in P7, Jazam also on the hards in P8, D's Nuts on the mediums in P9, Elzo on the mediums in P10. We got Iron Fix on the hards in P11. Nasty in the Booty Sweat Mobile on the hards. Angry Fredbird on hards. And RSR Zilla on the mediums. Unfortunately, Zilla falling way back after that incident. So going to be interesting. All those drivers who are currently on the hards will finish this race on the mediums and have a slight advantage. But as we go back on board with the closest battle on track, we have RTR Diablo hunting down SPC. Now, Jersey, you mentioned you'd seen them practicing. What do you know about RTR Diablo? I'm not as familiar with them.
Well, I mean, I'd only seen them briefly in one lobby, and everybody here is just as fast as anybody else, and it's more of a matter of, at this point, I think it's just can't get overzealous here. It's just chase down the guy in front. You're not gonna, there's not a crazy amount of time that you're to gain lap per lap, especially equal cars, equal grounds, equal tires. Just choose your battles.
Indeed, and with that, half-second penalty behind him from Jimmy, he's not having to look in his mirrors. And based on what we're seeing, I think Cole feels comfortable enough, as Diablo hasn't really gone for a move and it's just kind of tucked in. I think the two of them will just do their best to pull away, and it'll come down to strategy in the wet.
That's it.
Stig Xander has T-Rex Arms not far off. Good to see
T-Rex started
Arms
further back too. He's picked up quite a bit.
Yep, those racing mediums are working for him.
Baby
but
power.
Like I was saying too, I don't think a lot of these guys laid down their best times for qualifying.
Yep. And that's something I love. Dailies are can be fun, but you're just setting you're there doing a time trial, and you can follow the fastest ghost, whatever. But when you have live qualifying, it's always fun because it really shows who can do it when it matters, and a lot of people just can't put it down when it matters. These nuts putting all kinds of pressure, as we now see Diablo around the outside of SPC. However, Diablo with the half-second penalty, SPC on the inside, still on the inside, but it looks like Diablo got the better exit as they come down into this braking zone. I think SPC might feel a little more comfortable on his brakes. No, he tucks in and decides not to fight it and to keep going here. He knows he should get that back.
Yeah, he's definitely going to get it back. So why fight and slow down and give anybody back behind him a chance to catch up or force a situation that's not optimal at this point.
Indeed, he really does. So here it comes, the half-second penalty. He moves over, and like you were saying, you do kind of unghost in a defensive manner, but SPC close enough and is able to get by. Do either of you know what? Go ahead, Jersey. What was that?
No, I was just saying that half second, it really didn't really give him too much of a disadvantage at that point. It kind of put him right back in the same position, back behind SPC.
Indeed. I was going to ask a question now. Do either of you know what RTR stands for? I'm not familiar with the RTR. Or anybody in chat?
No, not a clue.
I know somebody does. Somebody told me a few weeks ago, but right offhand, I do not remember. I'm guessing the second R is racing.
Right. I no longer guess because I offended somebody.
Right. Good deduction.
So I've given up my I have a bunch of funny ones I could say, but I'm not a comedian, y'all. Good stuff. Diablo still fighting SPC. Going back to FAF Elzo with PHG Jazam on the back of him. Is Jazam going to poke his nose? No, he thinks better of it.
He's
So
just
hard
playing
to do
peekaboo
here.
in the mirror to try and get him to make a mistake.
Indeed.
I really like
indeed.
Shazam's livery.
Oh,
Yeah.
Very well done.
Shazam shows up. He does a great job.
Tell
And
you,
here we see
these
Jimmy
days I
K9
still,
serving a penalty. Go ahead, Jersey.
I still can't get over every time you say Shazam. It still slightly scares me a little bit.
Well, you need to go back and watch NRL. It's been an ongoing thing, and trying to get Flawed to say it is probably the funniest thing out there. He just some people aren't goofy like me, and when you try to make non-goofy people goofy, it's pretty fun.
When we get Flawed on for NRL, make sure you guys get him to say boogity, boogity, boogity. That's entertaining as well.
That's a tough one for him to do as well. I mean, talk about a great commentator. He has taught me so much. I honestly could not do what I'm doing now if it weren't for Flawed. He gave me so many pointers. Observing him for several seasons of the NRL taught me so much. As Elzo goes up the inside of Old Man Pip and unable to get it done. Oh man, that was some good racing.
Yeah, those are those times where you're settled into your groove. You're not, necessarily braking at the very last moment every single corner. You're giving yourself a little bit extra stopping time, and he just caught Old Man sleeping a little bit, trying to dive in there.
Indeed, it did look like he went a little deep on the brakes. Kind of missed the apex a little bit. Old Man Pip trying to turn in, but it did look like plenty of space was given. I don't think there's any foul there, but definitely Elzo really late on the brakes. Old Man Pip leaving the door open, like he said.
Yeah, Elzo has to be careful. He lost it earlier too. So.
Very good point. Very good point. RS Arzilla still in recovery mode after his big incident early on in this race, and looking at the
down, coming back up.
Indeed, Angry Fredbird, and then bringing up the field is PHG Nasty. Looking at the clock there, we're at almost 16 minutes, and Diablo with another half-second penalty. Starting to get cloudy out there. I'm seeing moisture in the air. We can expect some rain here in the very near future. It's going to be interesting to see who is brave and who plays it safe.
With booty sweat on track, you got moisture in the air, moisture on the track. It's just moist everywhere.
It's just moist, especially in the seat. Yes, especially in the seat.
Tell you, giving it up to T-Rex. He's moving up to 4. He's really cruising.
Yeah, T-Rex Arms is looking great. Let me double check where he started. T-Rex Arms started. Where are you, T-Rex Arms? Yeah, P8. So very impressive run from him. Looking good. And Stig Xander was second, Diablo third. So they have swapped positions, as we are now starting lap 12, 17 minutes into the race. Again, if you're watching and enjoying, please, please, please like and subscribe. If you want to find out more information, click that link pinned in the chat. It'll take you to the website. Everything you need to know is there. Past races, future races, where to watch the streams, some merch from Papa, and the Booty Sweatmobile is in the pits. PHG Nasty.
Yeah, he is.
Gonna go ahead. Call. Yeah, he's far enough behind that I think he would be one of those ones that gets caught out. The real question
is preparing for moisture.
Indeed. Yeah. Now, do Cole and Diablo do one more lap like we saw Q do? They aren't quite putting
on the track. I think they got time.
Yeah, I agree. They're not quite putting in the same times that Q was putting in, but they are lapping very quickly. Look how consistent Cole is. Only 2 or 3 laps in the 131s. Everything else in the 130s. Diablo doing roughly the same, but we did see Diablo has picked up a few pins.
If they're staying out.
And they do stay out. Let's see Stig Xander. And Stig Xander in the pits. He doesn't trust it.
Playing safe. Same with T-Rex.
Arms. Yep. K9. Nuke. D's nuts.
D's nuts going in the box.
Box. D's nuts.
Oh my God.
Y'all need to get your minds out of the gutter. He's talking about the pits.
What you're talking about.
He's talking about the pits.
Oh, okay.
Angry Fredberg. So everybody else following suit. You see the windshield wipers on for Booty Sweat. Windshield wipers on for SPC. They got a long way to go. They do. Tough. And Diablo with another penalty. The penalty in the rain on slicks is deadly because it does apply the brakes for you and can cause you to lose out.
Yeah, I was going to say, now he won't be going as fast coming into that last corner before going into the pits because it'll slow it down for him.
Let's see, SPC. It's still not quite into that 2/3 mark,
there.
but oh my goodness.
It's there.
Be careful.
You have about 1 pixel above that 1/3 bar to where the slicks will still grab. Anything beyond that, and we're going for a ride.
And you see SPC has turned his traction control on. Can you get it slowed down? And SPC safely. Let's see what Diablo does. No traction control. He makes it in. Woo! So I think this is going to work out in their favor. They got that extra lap in on the slick tires. Very nicely done. We go back to Jimmy, who leapfrog. No, he did not leapfrog anybody. My mistake. But he did not refuel. So that's why he has an 11-second gap on T-Rex arms. Because he chose not to refuel, knowing he will have to pit one more time.
That will hurt him later, like we saw in the last race. That'll hurt him later when he's going to stop for all the gas.
That is, at that low refuel rate, it's going to be tough. So we see Jimmy on the wets. If we could kind of scroll through and see what everybody's on. T-Rex arms on the wets
Jimmy has
well.
enough fuel to get through the rain.
Intermediates on Stig Xander. Nuke intermediates as well. We got full wets for Jazam. And Jazam getting a little sideways, but keeping it together.
A little
Elzo on
Tokyo
the full
drift
wet.
action.
Indeed. Angry Fredberg's wet. It looked like Old Man Pip was wet. Nasty on the enters. And Nasty loses it on the enters. Oh, he was the first to pit. And, he took a gamble, but way to keep it pointed in the right direction. This is going to cause chaos for Zilla and Iron Fix as they try to get around Nasty. Looks like Zilla's able to. Iron Fix unable to get around on the full wets, but he should be able to get a better exit here on Nasty being on the intermediates. Let's see what happens. Oh, man, that was...
Iron Fix and Zilla going around Booty Sweat there like Booty Sweat was an 85-year-old woman in the middle of the highway.
Exactly, as we go back.
You're just waiting, aren't you?
I think he has it all written down. He's just going down the list.
Right? I think so. Agreed.
SPC. Wait, what was SPC on? That didn't look right.
SPC's on, I think he's on wets.
Wets.
Okay, in P4? All right, we're going to go back and look at Booty Sweat here and Iron Fix. His name's Nasty, I'm sorry. Nasty. And you can see Iron Fix getting a little squirrely there, allowing Nasty to pull away as they come up to turn 2. I don't know why I saw hard tires on SPC. Yeah, he took the wrong tires. Cold trickle.
Oh, no.
Or did
on the
he?
racing hards. I thought I saw something weird. Cole making a huge mistake as we see Elzo and Old Man Pip going side by side. They're going to catch Cole. Both going to have to go on the inside. Elzo staying ahead of Old Man Pip. Old Man Pip applying plenty of pressure. They get by Cole. Can Cole get back to the pit? Oh, unbelievable. Unbelievable.
At this point, does he want to go back to the pit?
Right.
Yeah, does he want to try and limp it around out here until the dry line shows up?
Yeah, great question.
But I don't know, it does stay pretty wet for about 3 or 4 laps. So, I mean...
He's back in.
Old Man Pip now, or was that a strategy from Cole to get the hards out of the way? And now he's going to go enters to the end. I don't know. I'm just speculating, trying to give him
I'm not
the
sure.
benefit of the doubt. Stig Xander now in P3. And he has our late entry of D's Nuts in P4. Applying the pressure. D's Nuts starting in the back, so very impressive of him to work his way up.
Yeah, D's Nuts usually don't like being in the back. And most of the time, they will find their way to the front.
Indeed. I mean, that's just science. Coming into the double left-handers here, and you can see he is just, unable to stay too close to Stig Xander. He doesn't own the right tire.
Oh.
No.
Let's be honest, we've all done that.
Yeah,
We've all done
I
that.
have. It hurts.
You're
it is
racing in a
bummer.
week that Shaggy makes the call here. I mean, it's, you know, if there's can be rain, there will be rain.
So our first big shakeup, our pole sitter out of the race. RTR Diablo now in the pits as well, who was on the... Wait a minute. Are they in the same boat as SPC? Did our top two drivers both forget to buy wet tires?
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
No.
The battle is over. And
For the top
Jimmy
two
K9 with
Looks
a
like their
10
pit crews
second
have run
gap.
to Sears. I
Oh,
don't think they're going to make it back
Again.
from Sears in time to get those tires.
Jimmy's going to have a hard time getting through this rain with the fuel he's got on board. He's only got like maybe 3 laps of fuel left. Now, if he
That might
pits
be all he
early-
needs.
Right.
That might be all he needs to make it to the dry line.
Yep.
and he's got a good gap. He can feel, you can see how he's short shifting.
Yep.
He's
He's
doing
playing it.
everything he can.
I mean, at this point, too, you can, if he's got a decent delta back to second, he can, you know, it helps with the acceleration in the wet, too. You can fuel trim by turning it down to maybe 2 or 3. So you're not putting so much power down on this wet road.
And you see D's Nuts have gotten up to P3, getting ahead of Stig Xander. Stig Xander back into 4th, and he has his teammate S7R Nuke, who had that incident early on, but was able to keep it pointed in the right direction, clearly not losing out. Still in full wet territory, so the intermediate runners are not having the advantage just yet, but we do know it will start to dry out.
Yep. I can't get over the first 2 guys didn't have the tires.
I mean, and they were giving us such a phenomenal race too.
Yeah, it's
Tis a shame.
Start of season 3. I kind of did the same thing. I think I went we had our first race at Daytona, and I actually forgot to put gas in the car, and
Oh man.
had to stop again for gas. So I fell way back on that race. I can only imagine the feeling of just sitting in the pit at this point, just getting locked because you just cannot get moving.
I would like to see them come out of the pits once it dries out and just be way down, but the 2 of them could still battle it out for hashtag not last.
Hashtag not last, right?
Yep.
These Nuts pulling a gap now there to Stig Xander. Doing an excellent job in the wet. We'll see if he lives up to his team name, RQR. That's Rage Quit Racing. They are known to leave.
I didn't think I didn't think that was a thing.
And
It's a
spoiler
new
alert.
team.
Spoiler alert. D's Nuts is PHG C-Dubs. For those who don't know.
No, it's not.
Oh, but it is.
But
it is.
Oh,
I'm not sure he wanted the world to know that, but it is.
It's too late. It's too late.
It's out there now.
I can't.
Oh, I love
was
this
wondering-
community.
I was wondering where I hadn't seen that name yet. I hadn't seen anybody driving yet with that, and I just came out of nowhere. I don't even remember seeing that car qualify.
He rage quit on Wednesday.
Yep.
He lived up to
Did
the
he?
name. Yep.
Rage quit it on his.
Well, you know, if he makes it, then he has to rage quit and before he finishes the start finish line today.
Indeed. And PHG Nasty in P11, Iron Fix P12. Diablo is just sitting on the track on the mediums, doing his best to get around.
He's just waiting, yeah.
As he gets lapped yet again. He's only on lap 15 while everybody else is on lap 18? Yeah, lap 18. So Jimmy K9 looking good, but at 2-year-old's point, his fuel does not look great and the track is not dry. Yeah,
and that leaves the lead for our boy here, T-Rex Arms. I think he's got the right strategy for this race.
T-Rex Arms looking good.
I think so, yeah.
Carrying the speed. He's got a great gap between him and D's Nuts. And Jimmy K9 into the pits. He can't do another lap. This will allow T-Rex Arms and D's Nuts and potentially both S7R drivers around, as well as it looks like S7R Stig Xander has gotten past D's Nuts as they are battling it out hard. Both S7R drivers applying the pressure, and we all know D's Nuts don't like pressure applied. As you see, he goes deep on the inside. The intermediate runners now having their advantage. Intermediate pulling up ahead. And it looks like Nuke unable to get by. Let's take a look at this again. You can see how he gets by here. He's on the inside line of D's Nuts, and he is going to cut it in. Nuke just behind, wanting to be a part of it, unable to, as D's Nuts is on the inside for Nuke. Nowhere for Nuke to go, and D's Nuts get a better exit. Nuke unable to get by, and that allows Stig Xander to take P2. Very nicely done. Intermediate tires showing their worth.
How you have just commentated that whole section without even breaking even a little bit. Just total confidence in your seriousness there. And I can't do it. I can't do it.
No.
I'm a professional.
That was good. I give you that. That was good.
And that'll make for a great short for Sal's channel, I'm sure.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
RSR Zilla in P9 on the full wets. He's got PHG Nasty in the Booty Sweatmobile, putting the pressure on him as the track is drying out. Those wets are going to hurt. I expect we see a few drivers dive into the pits here at the end of this lap. Wouldn't you say, Papa?
Yeah. I mean, we've seen many people have been going to lap 19, hitting at the end of 19 in the last couple of races this week. So, yeah, it's not going to surprise me at all to see quite a few of them come in here.
So Jimmy, who was leading the race, pitted early, comes out on the racing hards, almost goes off the track, has fallen back to P12, but I believe he will make up all those positions once everybody else pits. Unbelievable. He is very confident to maintain that racing line. T-Rex Arms still on the full wets, leading the way. He's got Stig Xander and Nuke on the enter, so they have a bit of an advantage from T-Rex Arms here.
I wouldn't be surprised to see T-Rex go in this lap.
And what happened to D's Nuts? Okay, he's in the pits. I was like, what happened to D's Nuts?
Oh, I thought he rage quit.
There he goes. He's coming out on the hards now. So falling back, T-Rex Arms still in the lead, but you can see that gap closing behind him.
Yep. Yeah, now would be the time.
Let's see here. Stig Xander and Nuke back together again. And here comes T-Rex Arms. He stays out. He does not feel comfortable on that line. Xander goes in, but Nuke stays out. Interesting. A bit of a change up here. Nuke. You know what? Is Nuke going for the one stop? I wonder. Or did he start on the mediums? I can't remember.
I think they both started on the mediums.
Okay.
I think it's just more now. It's a matter of how comfortable some of these drivers are with being consistent on that dry line and not having any room for error.
Right.
I think that might be why T-Rex decided ultimately just, you know what, maybe one more lap to let these guys dry it out just a little bit more.
And you see Zilla getting by Angry Fredbird. And oh my goodness, D's nuts have left the room. Rage quit
What?
No,
No
has
way.
happened.
come on.
But you can see here Angry Fredbird getting slightly offline, and you have RSR Zilla just, easily around the outside. Not sure what happened there from Angry Fredbird's perspective, but he kind of just perhaps he was going for the pits and didn't quite get it turned in time. But to your point, Jersey, I would rather have a slightly slow lap, being on the wrong tire, than spinning out and crashing, trying to be on the quicker tire. So I'm in the group of T-Rex arms giving it one more lap. However, it might not necessarily be the fastest, but it's definitely faster than crashing out.
This is true.
T-Rex arms comes around, and yes, now we see him dive into the pits. Nuke again choosing to stay out, but on the enters. So Nuke staying out.
He may be going for the one stop, but if he was watching the other races, I think he realized that it's probably not the best idea in the end. Once the track starts to get drier, the intermediates just melt.
Yep. Old Man Pip coming into the pits. Elzo as well. Stig Xander already pitted. He is on the hards. Nasty going to come into the pits. Jimmy K9 still in P10. He was the first to box. And he's got a lot of ground to make up. Currently 43 seconds off of Nuke. Nuke still not having pit. Where is he going to come out in relation to T-Rex Arms, who was P2 when Jimmy was P1? This should be interesting. Old Man Pip, Elzo coming out of the pits. Mediums and hards there. And there he goes. He's coming out ahead of Old Man Pip, ahead of Elzo. But T-Rex Arms with the overcut, currently in P5. So he was able to take advantage of that and get two positions technically on Jimmy. And I think that has a lot to do with the fuel load. Jimmy's first pit, he did not take very much fuel.
Yep, and I think you're going to see this start to play out now with T-Rex's position in this. Is if he doesn't let himself get in his head looking at that delta to first place, because in the next, I would say 2 to 3 laps, those intermediate tires are just going to start to melt into banana peels, and you're going to see Nuke really starting to slow down a lot, and that delta's goes quick.
As Jazam, currently P2, dives into the pits, that'll give the position to Stig Xander on the racing hards. And let's see, 28 seconds off of his teammate Nuke. And plenty of laps left to go. We're about to start lap 23 of 30. And Zilla somehow Zilla in the pits. I was going to say he got around T-Rex Arm, but that was just because he was diving in the pits. That puts T-Rex Arms up into P3. Both S7Rs ahead. Very good driving there from Stig Xander, who was in third prior to all the pitting and now is up into second place. What do y'all think? Papa, do you think he's got enough time to catch up to Nuke, assuming Nuke does not pit?
He's got to gain about 4 seconds a lap here, which I think Stig can do.
It's not just about how much faster he can go, but it's about how much slower.
Right.
Yeah, it works.
Nuke is going to
go as well.
drop off a cliff here if he doesn't pit. So
yeah.
Oh, nope, Nuke is in the pits, and we saw Jimmy K9 making the pass on Angry Fredbird. So Jimmy now up to P4. Quite the shakeup here with the pitch and fuel strategies coming into play. I love to see that when the pit is how you overtake. It's not common, but it's fun to see as we see a battle for P6 between FAF Elzo.
Oh, no.
Jazam, who runs wide, keeps it pointed in the right direction. Good save.
That's what happens. You even touch that water right now with those slicks on. That's what happens.
Yep.
We'll see it right here. Talk us through this, Jersey.
No, he just into the line normally, gets a little outside, and the right tires just gobble up that water, and it's just cannot hang on.
Indeed, and thankfully there's gravel there instead of just more painted track, because I think that would have been a full spin had he not
Right.
gone into the gravel. As we see, Angry Fredbird, I didn't realize he was still on the wet, and Nuke only 1.8 seconds ahead of teammate Stig Xander. He pitted so late and now has fresher tires. They are both on the racing hards, but S7R Nuke, who did have that incident early on, very impressive to maintain the lead. And now it's up to Stig to close the gap, and a big gap to T-Rex Arms, 8.5 seconds. So really big shakeup. The overcut is very strong here. For those who don't know, the overcut is when you pit later than everybody else and come out and are still able to be ahead. Usually at most tracks, the undercut is the way to play it. But here we're seeing a big shakeup with the overcut.
Yeah, and the one person who chose a different undercut is D's Nuts by going home early. He gets to go home and kick his feet up before everybody else does.
Indeed, indeed. SPC is on lap 20. Lap 20 on the hard, so he's got some laps to make up as he gets by Iron Fix, who went off into the gravel, but continues to move ahead. Let's see what happens here. Does he just get a little too late on the brakes? Runs a bit too deep, and then it's wet out
into
there.
the water. Yep.
We've seen it often, but good for him to get it back on track. Looks like Nuke is still in the lead, but you can see Stig Xander closing the gap now, less than a second. They worked very nicely together early on in this race, but now I think the gloves are going to come off.
Yeah, it's right here around this point. This is kind of a tough point to be at for Sander, because he seems like he's in reach. First place seems like it's in reach.
Yep.
With each corner that you're pushing just a little too hard, it falls a little further away, and your frustration mounts. You make mistakes, you get into the water. It's drive your race. Pretend like he's not there. Just drive the track.
Easier said than done, but great advice from our very own Jersey here. It is tough, but one thing I do know about Sector 7 Racing is they race a lot together. So I don't think there's going to be any surprises from either of these drivers. They're going to be able to trust each other. They're going to be able to push, and I think we'll see some great racing here from the two of them. But a great 9-second gap. They're actually pulling away from T-Rex Arms and really showing us what Sector 7 is all about.
Yeah, I think at this point, if T-Rex was a lot closer to challenge second, I think you would see at this point with teammates. I know I would, if I was in that position, I would try to hold T-Rex from getting by to potentially take the lead from my teammate.
Absolutely. Guarantee the 1-2 versus losing that second position is the way to go. As Nuke goes a little deep there, so does Stig. A slight tap, but everybody keeps it pointed in the right direction. Looking good out here. 5 laps to go. And, I mean, these guys are putting on a clinic now. I was not expecting this. I kind of thought T-Rex Arms had it in the bag.
I did too.
As you see, Xander really now applying the pressure, making himself known. And look at that. And Nuke just lets him by. I think Nuke understood, you're faster. I'm going to go ahead and give it to you. Wow. Respectful driving here. I wonder if their team principal called in some orders. Oh, no, you see Nuke ran a little wide, got wet. He knows now he's got the slower exit and just goes ahead, does the respectful thing, and gets by. Very good driving.
In that kind of situation, you don't want to let your slow up your teammate for one. Two, if he really does want to get by, it's not. I don't know if they're necessarily talking to each other, but if he really does want to get by, you just kind of let him go, because there's no room on the track to go too wide, much of anywhere.
Right. That's a very good point. T-Rex Arms still in P3. He's got a good gap to Jimmy K9, who was at one point the leader of this race. Jimmy K9 with a good gap from Jazam. Up into P5. Old Man Pip currently in P6. Now remember, we didn't lose, but SPC Cold Trickle and Diablo were leading this race, as we see Elzo take a little lawnmower detour. But they both forgot to get the wet tires. You can see just a bit too much curb. It's still wet over there. A nice pirouette and gets it going in the right direction.
Now, it just goes to show you that sometimes when you straddle the sausage will straddle you back.
Indeed, it'll just get you good, as we saw Booty Sweat Nasty getting ahead of Elzo. Iron Fix and Diablo. Diablo is several laps down, so even though Iron Fix is behind him, he's technically ahead, and you can see SPC Cold Trickle there as well. Back in this race, but just several laps down. Diablo currently carrying the fastest lap of the 1:30.495.
That's got to hurt. You did the fastest lap, be in P2, battling for P1, and you just have the tires.
Indeed. Nuke back up ahead of Stig Xander with 3 laps remaining. It's on like Donkey Kong. 1.6 seconds, so I imagine Stig had an issue, whether that was a penalty or an off somewhere. We don't know, but Nuke now with a pretty commanding lead here. If he can just maintain it for a few more laps, he has this one in the books. I'm going to look real quick where these guys started. So SPC...
A little squirrely there in the braking.
A little squirrely there. Sorry, S7R, Stig Xander, he did start P2. But Nuke started P6, so that is very impressive. T-Rex Arms started P8, and Jimmy K9 started P4. So Jimmy's where he started. T-Rex moving up quite a bit, and Nuke moving up quite a bit. Stig where he started as well.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I mean, what a performance by Nuke and by T-Rex with the amount of positions that they gained. Just, very minimal amount of issues. Just, it's all about consistency here. It's that rhythm of Red Bull.
The rhythm of Red Bull. I like that.
I'm gonna coin that phrase.
You should. As someone who enjoys Red Bull energy drink, yeah, the rhythm of Red Bull. I like that. Diablo.
I don't know. I haven't been able to drink Red Bull since I was like in my early 20s.
It's
moved on to C4.
You can see Cold Trickle on lap 24. Good on them for not quitting. You got to appreciate that. And look at that. Nuke now 2 seconds ahead of Stig Xander. So Nuke making it happen, making a great case for driver of the day as we are on the penultimate lap.
What position did Stig start in?
Stig started in second, so he's where he started.
Okay.
Yeah, but Nuke started P6. So Nuke has really done quite a great job moving up the field, as has T-Rex Arms.
T-Rex has brought down the delta to Stig quite a bit.
Yeah, he has. I wonder what's going on with Stig, because Nuke's pulling away. What's the fuel situation?
I've seen Stig get into the wet line, outside of the dry line quite a few times.
We start the final lap here. Stig had plenty of fuel. T-Rex Arms doing his best to close the gap. I think it's too much without a mistake, and unfortunately Jimmy K9 falling way back as Old Man Pip gets a little squirrely there. RSR Zilla and PHG Nasty staying close. I mean, we've seen this every race. There's been a pack even at the end. See if anybody can change things up. Nasty potentially get up to P7. RS Arzilla did not have the greatest start to this race, but he has been fighting hard. And oh my goodness! Thank goodness for ghosting, because that would have been a disaster. As
Yeah.
Oh,
Nasty
I think
gets
he
ahead of
ghosted at
Zilla.
the very last second too.
Right, that because there was nowhere for Nasty to go. As you can see, just gets on the wet here, too much on the curb, and
Oh.
boom! Wow, that was
Oh.
close. He almost got a face full of booty sweat.
Mm-hmm.
And Nuke gonna be the first to cross the line. T-Rex Arms unable to close it down to Stig Xander, but doing an excellent job. Low on fuel. Will he make it to the end? It looks like even if he runs out, he has a big enough gap. As Nuke comes around the final turn, Stig Xander just behind. Can Nuke keep it on track? It looks like he does. He is going to be our victor here for the Split 4 race. Very nice.
Very impressive.
S7R, good showing. T-Rex Arms, well done across the line. There's our podium, 1, 2, 3. FAF's Jimmy K9 had a very eventful race. He's going to come home where he started in P4.
Very nice.
Very, very nice. Next up, we have
Strategy.
Shazam coming across the line in the pink mobile. Looking
Dare me
good.
again.
Old man Pip has Nasty just behind him, but looks like he's going to lock in that P6. Great racing from BHR's Old man Pip. PHG Nasty not far behind. Well done to these drivers. FAF Elzo now getting a little squirrely there, but he's going to come across the line in P8. Then, of course, RS Arzilla, who been having a little bit of trouble coming across the line. P9, that is Diablo P12, finishing ahead of Cole Trickle. PHG Iron Fix next across the line, and there's FAF SPC Cole Trickle for P13. And Angry Fred Bird will be the last on the lead lap to come home, P11.
Good job.
Great racing, everybody. That was was a fun one. That was a fun one.
And then I think we need to give a short mention to those who had engine trouble and just decided to get out of their cars today. These nuts leaving early, as usual.
Indeed. And look at that. S7R Nuke up 5 positions. Very impressive. Papa, will you take us through our results, please?
Absolutely. Like I said, we got a Sector 7 Nuke in P1. Sector 7 Stig Xander. With the Sector 7 sweep right there for P1 and 2. T-Rex Arms bringing PHG Lil Recti along for the final podium spot in P3. And we have Jimmy K9, FAF Jimmy K9 in P4. Rounding out our top 5 is PHG Shazam. P6 is BHR, Old Man Pip. P7 is PHG Nasty. P8 is FAF Elzo. We got here in P9, RSR Zilla. P10 is PHG Iron Pick. P11, we have Angry Fred Bird. P12 is RTR Diablo with also our fastest lap of the race. 3 laps down at the finish, but he ran a 1:30.495. Only 4 thousandths of a second faster than SPC. FAF SPC, speaking of, in P13. And in last, thankfully quitting, is RQRD's Nut.
Oh my goodness. I'm really...
I only say thankfully quitting because if he doesn't quit, he gets kicked off the team. We don't want that to happen.
We don't want that to happen. It's a requirement. I'm so disappointed that Cole and Diablo didn't have the tires, because I think that would have been...
Yeah.
I mean, we had great
Crazy.
battling. We had great battling for sure, but I think that would have been an epic finish. So that is our final race of round 5. That was Split 4. Incredible stuff. Jersey, do you have a driver of the race?
Really, at this point, but I'm gonna have to give it up to him just because he came in with minimal practice. He had a baby on the way and everything, and still to gain that many positions.
I'm gonna have to go with T-Rex arms.
Yes. Can't
Yeah,
argue with that. Can't argue with that.
great pick, yeah.
How about you, Papa?
I personally, I'm not gonna give it to one person, I'm gonna give it to one team. Sector 7, Racing. That was pretty impressive because they were out there quite a bit on their own, controlling this race. So for them to finish 1-2, that was a pretty good performance by the team itself.
Indeed, indeed. Yeah, I was going to say Nuke for sure. Moving up the field like that, he had that big incident as well, fell
Mhm.
back, able to catch back up and just really dominate there at the end. And there's
Yeah.
nothing anybody could do. So great racing to all those drivers. Sal will get a poll put up for y'all to vote. So that ends round 5, which means next up is round 6. What do we have for round 6? What
Atopolis,
a
Group 3,
Topless.
Japanese.
I like a Topless. Tati and I were talking Thursday about how they hate Atopolis, but I'm a fan. So Group 3 Japanese at Atopolis. That's going
In
to
the
be a
rain.
tough one in the rain because there's no runoff. It's just grass. So
Yeah.
if you mess up, you're donezo. Um,
Yeah,
very
there's no
fun.
stopping.
Very fun racing gonna happen next week. We will get all that uploaded onto the website. Again, click the link pinned in the chat. That will have all the information you need and then some. Again, we want to thank our sponsors 40 Racewear, Lithograph Comics, Vex Graphic Design, and the Mist Chronicles. Big thank you to y'all. Thank you, Shaggy, for putting this together. Thank you, Papa,
Baggy.
for for this community. We're all here because of you, and we
Right.
appreciate it.
Right back
And
at you.
thank you, thank you, Jersey. Great job again. You're being new to the booth. You're really doing a great job, and I always enjoy having you here with us. No, he's doing a great
Always a
job,
good
Papa.
time.
Don't say that. Again, big shout out to Salamander for running this stream. Please, please, please like and subscribe. Also, I have a channel at TCase101. You can check it out. You can check out Papa at Papa's House of Game. We both do streaming, racing, all sorts of good time. A lot of fun. Again, PHG, great racers, better people. We'll give you all a little more time to vote. And while we do that, I'll go ahead and let you guys kind of say your closing remarks. Jersey, any reflections, anything you want to say before we head out of here?
I mean, the only thing that I've really got, I mean, like I said, we had 2 great races today. And now seeing a new team enter the fray, and I think going into a topless in the rain next week, I definitely think RQR is in their right element to week 6.
I agree.
Indeed.
I agree.
Indeed. And how about you, Papa?
I just want to thank everybody, just like I always do. The amount of work that goes on behind the scenes, during the races, qualifying, the stat sheet, the points. It's just amazing how this has all just come together. I'm honored to have Papa's House of Game represent this whole thing. It's just amazing. I do want to shout out for all you NASCAR fans. This hasn't been brought up yet, but NASCAR.com has a fantasy league. If you want to join us, it's PHG Fantasy League. Password is GRBP. Come join us. I think we've got 10 there. We're even talking about some sort of cash pool for the winners. So come
Very
join us,
cool.
man. It's awesome. Freaking awesome to do.
Very cool. Very cool. Let's see what's going on with this poll here. Only
Mhm.
only 6 votes.
Mhm.
We got a tie going on. We got a
Who's
tie
going to
going
cast the
on.
final one?
Oh, go vote. There better be more than 6 votes.
So also, I do want to point out, so Tuesday night, we will have qualifying for the next race and Wednesday night. Those will be streamed. We'll have all that information available on the website again. Link pinned in the chat. Like and subscribe. I just realized I forgot to like. So I was the 41st like. So don't forget to like that stream. It does make a big difference, believe it or not. I know people get tired of hearing YouTubers saying like and subscribe, but the only reason we do it is because it works. Yeah, this has been a great, great time. I really appreciate the opportunity to be here and be a part of this. So we'll go ahead and say goodbye. We got a credit reel. So if you want to find out more people's information, everybody involved, there is a credit reel that will give you all that information. But until next time, thank you guys so much and have a great rest of your day.
Yo, lights out, engines roar, season 3 PHG, we back for more. Tracks are set, combos tight, Shaggy laid it down, it's a racer's delight. Buckle up teams, it's time to thrive. PHG World Series, we going live! We going live! Rubber burns, curves kiss the breeze. GT7 streets where legends see. Shaggy cooked the recipe, fire in the stew. Cars and tracks match like a dance for the crew. From hairpin bends to straights that scream. Every line a story, every race a dream. Fuel in the veins, adrenaline spree. Welcome to the jungle, season 3.
Clock's ticking, engines kicking, every second counts, feel the friction. New teams rolling, old champ flex. Rev it up, y'all. Who's next?
Season 3, let the tires sing. PHG, where the fast take wing. Welcome racers to the grand design.
Speed meets hard on every finish line.
Season 3, yeah, it's time to ignite.
Strap in tight, it's a furious flight.
I see sparks fly, the tarmac glows. Races in sync like a symphony flows.
Strategy spin, minds on the wheel. Every move calculated, every turn you feel. Teams collide, rivalries bloom under the floodlights. Engines boom. Ladies and gents, take your stance. PHG's the stage, here's your chance.
Yeah.
Apex hunters chasing the crown. Draft through the pack, don't slow down.
Pit stop precision, seconds to spare.
Victory's a breath, snatch it from the air.
Season 3, let the tires sing. PHG, where the fast take wing. Welcome racers to the grand design.
Speed meets hard on every finish line.
Season 3, yeah, it's time to ignite.
Strap in tight, it's a furious flight.
Yeah. Yo, PHG in the lobby. Yeah, lights flash, engines rise. Season 3 begins, and the world's watching with wide eyes. Yeah. Drivers from all nations, every flag in flight. The grid is stacked heavy, competition's tight, but PHG rolls deep, steady nerve, sharp aim. Every corner carved clean, every lap pure flame. Built the squad from grit, no shortcuts, no favors. Earned every ounce of respect from rivals and haters. But when the pressure peaks and the storm grows greater, there's one name whispered: Shaggy the Rainmaker. Dark clouds roll whenever he takes the track. Rivals feel the thunder rumbling right up their backs. When that visor drops, whole lobby starts to quake. Cause Shaggy makes the rain fall heavier than heartbreak. Cause Shaggy makes the rain fall heavier than heartbreak. Yeah.